Oh, they're not here. We're filling in. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I like how you had to have a stroke when you're talking about me, which is not an uncommon reaction.
See, I thought that was almost like a sneeze at the end, like, was like, achoo. I mean,
like,
you saying his name's not Berserker?
It's like Jeff Dunham, the guy who does the puppets. They have Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. He's like, how do you spell that? A-D Phlegm. Let's do it.
Great idea.
Wait, let's do it, I mean, I'm not actually in the map yet because I'm a professional. That's cool. Ah.
Sloop-a-doop.
The dupe is better.
Deemoogoogoon. Poop plus something or other.
I mean, I've got it written down.
Spoopy doopy loop.
It's no less funny this week.
It's not actually transmitting on. Alright. Sorry about that, my end, folks. For some reason, my mic mic settings had been reset on OBS, so I'm going to have to redo that recap just quickly again. I'll make it brief. So, incompetent survivors found themselves getting closer to the Kyoto town of Slooped Up. They ended up ambushed by Kyoto slavers that were attempting to capture them and sacrifice them to the father. Also, they called him the Deemoogoogoon. However, the party was able to fight these Kurotans off with the help of their companions. And actually, that's a very good point. You are very red on your camera there, Mike.
Yeah, I'm playing with the settings.
Very new. Sorry.
Dear.
Within a minute of that fight's ending, they were then beset by another Kyotoan vessel. This one bearing slightly more pleasant company. A archpriest by the name of Plupulpine, the archpriest of the sea mother Blibdulvpulp.
No less funny the second time.
And they made a deal with this archpriest.
Every fucking time.
Agreeing to be probably for the best word I can find for this is bait in a plan that the archpriest was trying to set in motion in order to assassinate his daughter.
I'm pretty sure he straight up asked us to be
Yeah.
bait.
He did.
Sure that was the actual word bait was
Yeah,
The actual word bait was used.
I was just trying to put a nice word into it for the narration, but no, yeah, bait. He is basically asked you guys to help him in this plan to assassinate his daughter, who is leading the worship of the father, the Deemoogoogoon, in his
Demigod.
town. And upon hearing this word several times, I believe one or two members of the party did manage to realise that Deemoogoogoon was actually likely a reference to the demon, or the Prince of Demons, the Deemoogoogoon, one of the most powerful and fearful fiends within the Abyss. Probably one of the most powerful demons there is. So, but the party still agreed to help in this case. And so they, taking both the boat that these Kutones just brought and the one that the original slavers had brought, the party are now on the move to the Kuotone town of Sloopladop in the company of these new Kuotoans. A group or a race that seemed to basically be in constant motion, it would seem. Even whilst the party was sleeping, they noticed that these Kuotoans barely stop. They even sleepwalk. They have no eyelids, they look constantly awake, and they're just constantly on the move. However, after a few conversations with your companions, you all settle down for the night, and what you believe to be morning has finally come, as the boats set off once more towards the small Kuotoan town. Are any of you wanted to do anything before you get...
Just double check.
We actually
got our
ended
rest,
arriving
didn't
at the town.
Uh,
We got our rest and we arrived at the town. That's what we called it.
well, did anybody
Well,
want
the
to...
town was in sight at least.
It is in sight, but did anybody want to do anything before you port?
Nothing outside of my usual morning stuff.
Yep.
Smells.
No, I've got my book.
Whatnot.
Nothing on
Yeah.
my end.
I'm gonna have a look at my spells and stuff, but other than that, no. If you want me to prepare spells now, I can, or just do it on the fly.
I would... make sure you know what the spells do. It's like, if you need time to look through the spells, feel free to look through them. I'll trust you to get what you're...
Yeah, I already know. There's only like 5 or 6 I'd ever prepare with this character.
In that case, I'll just trust you to make sure that you prepared what he would have prepared, and you're not just saying,
Also
oh wait,
not
we're in this
going to
situation.
metagame, yeah. Yes, I conveniently prepared the one thing they're weak against.
I trust you not to metagames, so
Yeah.
I'll let
Dad,
you...
how
I'll allow that.
convenient, I've just prepared lots of smiting.
So, well, to be fair, that's what he prepares anyhow.
I was going to
We-
say...
It's Kamar we're talking about.
To be fair, but...
Innocent
Still.
bystanders, how convenient! I prepared lots of smites.
Oh my, lots of cannon fodder. Good job, I've got all this
So-
in a week.
The town of Sloopladop is a mishmash of wooden shacks, well, a cross between wooden shacks and towers, all crisscrossed and connected together by lots of different rope bridges, and from various levels, like each shack tower being connected 2 to 4 times to other shacks in the nearby vicinity. There is the entire waterfront area of the town is covered with various piers where boats and other vessels have been docked. And around the town there is what looks to be a wall of fish netting with various pillars in different places holding the netting in place. As you dock, Cooperbean tells you that it's probably best that you accompany him to his home for now, whilst they set the plan into motion. But hopefully, you should be able to set forth the plan within this sleep cycle. So, are any of you wanting to do anything? Just going along.
No.
I'm going to follow him for now.
Keeping an eye on Topsy and Turvy.
There were lots of locals around.
As the boat docks, I'll just wait for that. Right, as the boat docks, you can very much see, especially those of you with dark vision. Although there is bits of light allowing sight for those without, it's just hard to make out because it is very dim light.
I would still be having light on my shield.
That's fine, but that's still very limited range. Whereas
I know, I'm just saying.
but you can see that there are Kuotoans everywhere, like very much like the ones that you saw on the boats. These ones are constantly moving. They seem to walk one direction, stop, then suddenly turn and go in a different direction. As Plupapine leads you off the boat, a few of the guards that he had with him actually take up positions around you, making it look almost as if you've been captured or are being escorted somewhere with an armed guard. They made no attempt to take your weapons or anything like that, or bind you or anything serious like that, but it still seems like they're trying to show the pretense of capturing you, so to speak.
Well, the reason I asked is I want to sort of like uphold myself and look proud, as in, yes, I'm clearly a very important person. I'm trying to sort of give off that sort of impression to anyone who just kind of looks over.
A few of them do look over. One or two actually move closer to get good looks, but as soon as they do, the armed Kuotoan near you, all of which, whilst I say they are taking up armed positions around you, their position around you is constantly changing. They'll swap with another guard on the other side of you, they'll walk around you, they'll do full loops of the thing, although the entire time you do have about 4 or 5 Kuotoans fully surrounding you at all times. It's just, they seem to be doing a weird dance as they do it. But every time another Kuotoan gets close, the armed guards push them away and shove them off and tell them to clear off. Seemingly trying to, keep any bystanders away, as it would seem. You are escorted to what Plupapine tells you is his residence and also the Shrine of the Sea Mother. A 9-foot-tall statue stands here. Its body is roughly carved from some kind of wood in the shape of a humanoid female. Its head and forearms formed from the severed head and claws of a giant albino crayfish. These parts are lashed on with strands of gut and emit an overpowering stench of rotting shellfish. Shells, brightly coloured stones, mushrooms and rotting fish are piled at the statue's feet and strung in garlands around its neck. 4 stern Kuotoa slowly circle the statue, alert and on guard, while a few others mill about, gazing up at the statue and bowing repeatedly while chanting. Pardon me.
What's a chant?
The chanting itself seems to be a... you're not quite sure. You speak Undercommon, so you can make out various words. It seems to be a mixture of Underdark and nonsense, as far as you can tell. Very tribal chant.
Underdark nonsense. Just leave it at that.
Under nonsense.
Has another book been released since like last week?
What do you mean?
There's a shit ton of spells on here that I don't recognize from last week.
Don't think so.
Heraldic
where are you
Mastiff,
looking?
Heraldic Owl, Heraldic Ox.
Make sure that you're not looking at any third-party ones.
That would be what I'm looking at. Okay.
I was going to say you can, if you're using the site I linked to, you can actually set it to no third party.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was already set to that. Never mind. Carry on.
You are escorted into this shrine. It's not so much an enclosed area as it is an open area with a statue outside. Another residence is nearby, kind of looking into it. One tower slightly larger than the others, behind the statue itself. And Plupapine tells you, stay here. We will make sure everything is ready and get you when you are needed. You will be sacrificed to Varvalord. Oh, pretend to be sacrificed to Varvalord, yes. And he moves off.
Can I insight check that?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Inside this motherfucker.
I trust him explicitly.
I tell him to, yeah, of course, hurry up. This is the plan, isn't it?
Obviously.
I have no time for these creatures any longer than I need to be.
6.
I mean, it's like Kamar said, this is the plan. Like, you were told he's going to fake sacrifice you, so what are you...
That's fine.
Yeah, that's... You believe him, like...
Does it seem legit?
Seems legit. Seems legit, bro.
Too legit to quit.
It's all, guys. It's the plan. What?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're worried about.
All right.
For once, I'm with Kamar.
So.
And never did we think it would happen.
You maybe.
I think everyone's always with me.
I've got a healing. I'm good.
It's a genuine surprise when it's not.
So as Plupapine finishes speaking to you, he kind of veers off around the statue, and then actually, rather than going to the larger tower shack, he actually goes to one that just looks like a single-story shack, and just moves into there.
Can I do a let's go with religion check on this statue?
Yeah, go for
I'm
it.
assuming this is presumably the mother.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it stinks.
Well, that's
It is absolutely disgusting, the smell.
it's humming.
What was that, sorry?
8 on
8.
religion.
I'll
Uh,
also do a
no.
religion check.
I know
you can also do it.
mother is bit doolopy. No, that's
You've,
not
you've
even
already
right.
passed a check on her, so I'll actually give you advantage on this.
Nope. Okay. 1d10.
In which case,
1d0, boldies.
Bad lies.
in which case,
It's still terrible. So, yeah,
1d0 bad
you
things.
have your mind has gone blank looking at this statue. Like this is a you're used to your religions, your statues, your priesthoods kind of thing. Like your gods are very much revered in completely clean and immaculate temples. Like it honors the god to put the work into that kind of thing. This one, it looks like multiple Kuoturn have come up and vomited on the statue. Like
hot.
yeah, not on the statue. Sorry, at the statue's feet. In fact,
That's how they should
Still
rest.
gross.
as you are thinking this, a Kuoturn actually walks up, bends his head, and just regurgitates right at the foot of the statue before getting up, nodding at the guards who are kind of stood around watching, and then walks off.
How
I-
far away is he? Her.
You're kind of near the statue, so 15
Can I
feet.
just kind of stop the one that just vomited everywhere and just be like, the fuck?
What do
A
you-
little
you?
more eloquently, just like, what is all this?
What are you, middleman? Strange stone man. You're not you're not one of us. Why are you here? Why you not be sacrificed?
We're waiting to be sacrificed.
Oh, good. And he walks off.
Okay.
He didn't answer my question.
He didn't.
You didn't answer
I'm,
the
I'm
You answered
actually
his
saying
question,
this out
though.
loud. I'm actually saying he didn't answer my questions. I'm looking a little dejected.
Jim Jar. Jim Jar just walks up to you and says, "Aye, they probably won't answer anything you've got to question them about. They're very very prejudiced folk of the Kuotorns. They'll you rarely see anybody other than themselves in their towns unless they've got business, and that business is strong enough to keep them from being on the altar. But as to the regurgitation thing, well, she's a scavenger goddess. That's what you do. You give her goods and such. Vomiting up.
I ask him.
I can't. I was gonna say I
Is
can't
this-
stand prejudice, the uncultured swine.
I'm going to ignore Kamar's remarks, as I've so often gotten used to. And I'm going to ask Jim Jar if he knows this statue to be the Sea Mother, for the sake of not having to say that name.
He says, "Aye, that'll be the one. That'll be the. I thought she was the only goddess here in this that these folks worship, but obviously they've got another that they're wanting us to take care of."
The other one is no god.
Well, try not to say that too loudly around here. Although, that said, if you're going to say it anywhere loud, probably in the temple of the other religion is probably the only safe place. But hey.
We're about to be sacrificed, and I very kind of just wink, like not overly subtle at him. So what does it matter?
It says, aye, very true, but still, mind what you say around these folk. Kuotoans are very chaotic in nature, and it wouldn't surprise me if they had a little surprise or two in store for us. At which point, Shusha, kind of standing nearby, says, "I take offence at that. Not all are chaotic. We have much potential for much more. As I believe I have shown. Yes?"
How many Kuotoans are there, like, ever in total?
In this room,
No, not just in this room. This is me asking Shusha this. How many Kuotoans are there total, like everywhere? You are one Kuotoan.
Let me check
Mm.
my book. that
I was,
tells me.
I was actually just seeing if there was a, because I'm used to the way Pathfinder do things. I was just seeing if they have a city sheet in this, well, city character sheet effectively.
Usually.
No, they don't. He says many thousands in Sloopladop. Many other,
Many thousands.
maybe many other towns.
Many thousands. That's many hundreds.
We
Millions of hundreds.
That's many hundreds, in fact.
we have populated well since our escape from the bondage.
Oh,
The bondage.
So how many Kotoans out of these tens, hundreds of thousands would you say are enlightened?
That I have met? Or that I know of?
Let's go with both.
One.
Is
Just
it
himself.
you?
Why did you ask me to
Yes.
clarify the answer if both answers were going to be one?
Questions should always be true to what.
well, he's not the smartest of creatures.
Hmm?
He's plenty smart.
My mind has expanded much more than any of my race. Simply because I choose not to express it so quickly does not make it lower in any way.
Gotcha.
Is anybody else asking Shusha or anything, or can we carry on with normal talking
I
speed?
think we should ask anyone else except Shusha because we're going to be here all day. if
That's
we get
fair.
to that.
Like,
I asked
But
nearly
Shusha
walked
we
down
his
the
just
life
finished
story.
saying hello.
I think we made that joke last week.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what are you doing then?
Also, Cobalt, please no. Do not ask Shushar's life story. We do not want to be here for that. It'll take him the whole of his life to tell it.
I was going to say.
Something Cobalt could ask.
And then I
Oh,
had a
God.
slice of toast. It was rather tasty.
It was
And then
slightly
I
burnt.
had a
Anyway.
number.
So, is anybody wanting to do anything in this temple before, like in the town? You've got a couple of hours
I'm just
before
going
anything
to-
happens.
I'm just gonna.
No, I'm just going to make
around
sure
the temple.
Topsy and Turvy are okay.
I will say that just looking around the temple for the next 2 hours is you do kind of get the same general idea that what Jim Joss told you is just factual. Like you watch as things happen. About once more in the hours you're there, another Kuotone appears and regurgitates at the feet of the goddess statue, whilst two others appear and actually just kind of drop baskets of fish at her feet instead. It does very much seem like they're just offering tribute, but
Is
It
it
does-
always sort of like fish or food?
no, you've seen shells there, you've seen shells, brightly coloured stones, mushrooms, and rotting fish. The things you typically see, along with the piles of regurgitated rotten fish.
Naturally.
So, after the few hours are up, Poopapeen comes back, or who you'd seen actually leave his hut and disappear in a different direction. He returns, and he tells you that they are ready to enact the plan if you are okay to go. He has sent messengers to his daughter, and a parley meeting has been set up with yourselves as the
Offering.
gift of peace between the two factions. Or the two.
So they want to prove that they're just as cool as the new guys, and we can be hit with the sacrifices as well.
It would seem so.
Well,
So,
Oh, I'm ready to go.
sorry, just having a quick look at something. So, with Poopapeen come 12 or 13 other Kuotoans who take up positions around you again. They don't take They don't attempt to bind you. They don't attempt to do anything like take your weapons or anything like that. But they do seem to basically be acting as armed escort, and you get the idea that if you do anything wrong whilst you're in this town, you're probably going to get a spear to the hip or something like that. They escort you through the town. It's not hugely far. In fact, you actually find yourselves taking a more direct route, actually towards the lake itself. Whilst when you came in, you actually did kind of a L shape going along the outskirts of the town, and eventually getting to the Seam of the Shrine, which is near the far end of the town. You're now heading towards the lake. As you get there, you see the idol to Deemoogoogoon, Deep Father, consists of a large hide cut roughly in the shape of a manta ray and stretched out on cords between two support poles. A dead, splayed out manta ray is pinned to the centre of the hide. Two dead octopuses are draped across the top, their tentacles pinned and artfully arrayed, their heads tied together and painted with red and blue pigments. The idol reeks of decay, and the broad stone altar below the idol is stained with dark blood. You can see around this altar, it is a lot more popular than the one that you've been standing around for the last few hours. There are... this one does not have tributes such as that at its feet. In fact, it's got no tributes at its feet. Instead, it's just got a... it seems to be open to the underneath the statue seems to be open to, not the statue, the altar seems to be open to the lake below, and you can see the not just the altar is stained with blood, but it looks like anything any liquid on the altar itself is the altar is designed that the liquid will run through those cracks and into the lake, and you can actually hear sounds of splashing below it, although you can't make out what that is. There are many different Kuoturn around here, and even as you approach, you can see there is a gathering almost circled around the altar, at the lead of which is a female Kuoturn. As you approach, the Archpriest of the Sea Mother steps forward across the span of the altar towards the Kuoturn waiting for him there. "Time has come," he says, "for us to acknowledge your divine vision and welcome it. I have brought these as offerings." He gestures toward all of you standing within a circle of guards behind him. "Will you not accept them?" "Your wise, Father!" The younger Archpriest replies, "I accept your offering in the name of the Deep Father. May their blood nourish and strengthen him." A burbling cheer goes up from the surrounding Kuotoa, their fists raised in the air. I apologise for the terrible voice. You know how many I've got to make, right?
This is not racist.
This race doesn't exist, it can't be racist.
I don't know, you kind of did like a stereotypical Chinese accent.
I was expecting an "Aya."
I actually heard South Park in my head. Maybe it's their version of China.
And that's never offensive.
I was trying to do a slightly higher pitched but still gravelly voice. So you make that Chinese. That's on you, not me. You can see near the altar there is also a fairly bedraggled looking dwarf of grey skin, ashen beard. He is currently holding weapons and his arms are bound. He looks very bruised and beaten and very much looking sorry for himself.
Do we know that's a Dwagar? Are we going to have to roll for that?
I will say that anybody who has spent any time in the Underdark, but previous to this campaign, you know it's a Dwagar. Anybody else can roll a knowledge history check.
Knowledge history check it is.
That guy's a dwarf.
Oh man, I got a spectacular bonus of -1.
I will say for definite, whether you've been in the Underdark or not, Flynt, you know that he's a Dwagar. Dwarves have been at war with the Dwagar for many generations. Like, you know for a fact what it is.
10 out of 10, Mike. 10 out of 10.
It wasn't a nat 1.
Actually,
That's the only thing I'd go for.
So, I'll say it's only like
it's
it's DC 8 for anybody who needs to roll. Anybody else, I'll trust you to judge it whether you know it or not. Like if you've been in the Underdark.
Can it be a DC 1?
Nope.
Like if it's not a DC 1, I think I fail.
I think you failed. You don't. It's a dwarf.
It's a
Uh,
short
no,
human.
no, he's very
I
clearly
dunno.
just a short human.
Yeah, I was
Short
gonna
and
say, on a
human.
1, he
Wouldn't that
doesn't
be a
even
short?
notice the dwarf.
Would there be a short drow?
On a 1, you do know you do recognise it is a dwarf, but that is literally all you get. Like you've been travelling with a dwarf, so even Kamar isn't that stupid to know that he isn't at least of that racial area.
Look at that Dwayne. Don't be racist.
All right, so as you see this anyhow, the Kuotoan around the altar start to parade in a wide circle and chant, getting louder and louder as they do so. The circle they're going in eventually starting to widen out and send them splashing through the shallows of the lake nearby as part of the route. As this happens, the female Kuotoan shouts for the sacrifices to be brought to her, and one of the Kuotoan out of the circle of chanters jumps out and spear out starts attempting to prod Renlan.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I was about to say, this is the part where I start getting very, very curious as to who's looking at me. It's like, well, shit, bit too late.
He starts prodding you and gesturing for you to follow him.
Can we have a map now? To go down.
No, because I've not got one, and this is far too many things happening for a map. Unfortunately, this is a narrative encounter, not a battle map one. I apologise, but there are about 40 Kuotoans right now, so.
Oh,
Yay!
Well, I'm getting.
It's a good
hopes to
thing
go
someone
towards
prepared
an
fireball,
altar,
right?
Yep.
yeah. If only we had fireball.
The altar is currently about 20 feet from you. Like he's
And who is standing next to the altar?
the Kuotoans. The Plupapine is the only one from your faction who's near there. He is currently stood next to the altar with Bliplod, his daughter, the archpriest of the Deep Father. And around them, about 10 foot around, about 20 foot around them actually, is the circle of chanters that were very much just skimming by you guys.
He's sort of poking at me. I'll sort of
Welcome back.
give him a glare, but I'll start moving towards the altar.
Okay, seeing this happen, other Kuotoans move out of the circle and start now putting their spears at the rest of the group, poking and prodding and like attempting to get you to move forwards without putting themselves in any without putting themselves in arm's reach of you. Basically,
Also,
move away from the sharpy end of the spear style of
quick
action.
question.
Yeah.
He told us last week, but what exactly did he want us to do other than be bait?
He said he
Was
wanted
it
you
kill
to.
his daughter?
He said he wanted you to use his bait so that he and his people can get close to his daughter and assassinate her. And right now, he's
Okay.
technically stood right next to her.
I thought
Yeah,
he
it's
said
just-
he wanted our help in killing her rather than just being bait.
He said
Yeah.
anything you can. He would have. I can't remember exactly what he said. The general idea is
taking part in the fight.
Yep. That is also why you kept your weapons. Yeah. You are to be to help him kill his daughter. Basically, like the main thing is you acting as bait. If you can help in another way, then that is also part of the deal.
What's the daughter wearing or holding?
She. Sorry, 1 second. She is wearing a dark red and black robe, and wields a what seems to be looks almost at first to be ivory scepter with a skull on the top. Although you do get the idea it's probably bone, if you were to guess.
Does it perchance have metal on it?
It does not have any metal on it, unfortunately.
Does she?
She doesn't actually. None you can see.
That is awkward.
It is indeed awkward, Phil.
So, as you were all brought forward towards the altar.
Just a second question here. Are these considered humanoid?
Yes.
Yes.
Just getting the questions we need,
Yeah,
sure.
no, that's fair. That's
I
fine.
mean, this is I need to know what my plan of attack is.
What
Fair
are you
enough.
talking about? This is all gonna go perfectly according to plan. The guy's gonna assassinate the daughter, and then we're just gonna get away. It's gonna be fine. There's gonna be no need for fighting. It'll be fine.
As-
This is
Third
part of the plan.
question here. Is there an easy way for us to tell apart the ones we're supposed to be murdering and the ones we're not supposed to be murdering?
Well, yeah, you
What
met
are
some.
talking
You,
about?
well,
They all
you,
look alike.
you met some of the ones that you're not supposed to be murdering, and the ones that you're supposed to murder probably are the ones that you didn't meet, right? Hope you can tell them
The point
apart.
is it easy enough for us to distinguish?
Phil, they all look alike.
No, not really.
Oh, that's awkward.
They all look alike. I'm not
As you are being brought towards the altar, there, Blipod. That's Blipod.
Which one's
Cure
that?
tones. That's the archpriest of the Deep
Can we
Father.
just go with dad and daughter? Right.
The daughter
Dad and daughter.
steps forward and gestures at the altar. At which point, her father behind her brings up his scepter and smacks it around the back of her head, what seemingly initiating
I'm pretty sure that's the go sign.
Combat.
I was gonna say initiating an enormous fight that breaks out as all of his followers suddenly leap out with their weapons drawn at the followers of Blipod.
Or
It's
we
fighting
stand
time.
we stand and watch.
Or I cast Bane.
Or initiative.
Oh,
yeah, I can
It's
cast Bane
fighting
too.
time.
It'd be fighting time. Alright.
What does Bane do? I
That's
didn't
not
prepare.
terrible.
I need to prepare. Haha.
You need to prayer and a haha.
No,
Not
I don't
heard
need.
that one.
I don't need to prepare
Ha-ha.
Bane. I already have it. Hooray! Everybody can do the Bane.
Oh, is Bane
Crap,
just
crap.
something you always have prepared?
Yeah, it's a part of my oath.
That's not bad.
What does it do?
Bane, choose 3 targets. They've got to make a charisma save, and if they fail, any attacks and saving throws they make, they subtract 1d4 from the result.
Should I even bother playing today? For fuck's sake! This character cannot roll well. He just can't.
It is the case, unfortunately. Flynt?
Fuck.
13.
Huh. I didn't need to rub that out. Oh well. Kamar?
Just ignore me. I'm over here. I'm playing in the dirt
2.
or something.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm on the short bus.
Renlan?
15.
I got a 1. And that
I know. I looked up as you were
Well, you
professing your shortcomings.
Yeah, I got
Cobalt?
2 because the +1, but yeah.
16.
That's better than the 3 you had last week. What's your initiative?
Mine,
Yeah, your mod.
+1.
Alright. Now the rest of these. Goddamn micromanagement.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've only got to roll, what, 40 NPCs?
Exactly. I'm actually just talking about your companions. I've not got to the Cure Tones yet.
So 50 NPCs then.
Why did I choose this campaign again?
Why did you choose campaign?
Because
I hoped you guys.
Yeah.
I trusted you guys to kill off
your
more
alternatives
companions by now.
was, Horde, which has very iffy reviews, or Storm King's Thunder, and you didn't want to do Giants, I believe, or something like that.
I don't know why I didn't want to do Stormking's Thunder actually. I think it's because I was
then
watching
there's-
through a. I'm currently watching through a playthrough of it. I wanted to see the other one that I've not seen yet. Effectively.
And then there's Curse of Strahd, but then that's not really your thing.
I've
Curse of Strahd, which looks like amazing fun, but we'd all be dead already.
I've also already watched Chris Perkins DMing Curse of Strahd, and there's no way in hell that I DM it as half as good as he does. So I did not want to bother with that one.
And then there is also Prince of the Apocalypse, but you're playing.
I'm playing that one on Saturdays with my amazing DM. Can I have free stuff, please, Phil?
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you can have a free knife in your face.
I mean, that's what I get every week, Phil. Not even in game.
know.
I have to go to the hospital after every session.
That's what you get for being wild magic sorcerers.
Yeah,
Wait, I
fair
thought we
point.
were doing elemental evil.
We are. It's called Prince of the Apocalypse. Elemental Evil is the
Yes.
series, effectively. Like, there's been Elemental
Yeah,
Evil
it's the
in.
series, but
most
at the same
editions.
time, there's only one book in the series, so
'Cause
Well, no, 'cause the series is going back to other editions as well, like the original Temple of Elemental Evil was an amazing campaign.
Isn't Prince of the like? How far are you through Prince of the Apocalypse?
They're on chapter 4, so
Actually,
not
put these
quite
together.
halfway. So they don't actually know what's going on, if that's what you think.
Okay.
But we're figuring it out, and it's the Girl Scouts all the way, Phil. Anyway,
Girl Scouts all the way.
finally got all the initiatives done, so let's get started. As Kuotoan leaps on Kuotoan in the area, the two archpriests taking up almost on a stage, attacking each other, beating each other's sense of their scepters. Eldith brings out her warhammer and looks around unsure, kind of taking up like backing into the group a little more, to take a almost defensive stance within you all. Sereth kind of edges through and almost makes his way towards the middle of the group. Jimjar just almost stands there, folds his arms, says, "Huh," and just seems to be watching. In fact, as he does this, he points at a group of Kuotoans where you can see two of the Deep Father's worshippers are bearing down on one of the unfortunate Sea Mother's worshippers, and he just says, "5 gold on the fathers. Anyone? Anyone?
I'll
No.
take it.
Deal. Cobalt,
You're
your
still
turn.
up, aren't you?
I cast Bane.
Okay, how many does that affect?
So, up to 3. So I'm
Batman's
picking,
back breaks.
so I'm picking the priestess,
Hmm?
and then does she have bodyguards or anything?
Not around, like nobody specific around. You
The
can
two bearing,
like
the two bearing down on the
Then
on
the
outside.
big-
I pick 2 big burly people that worship the father, as far as I can tell.
the biggest threats that you could tell were all in the kind of circle that was circling around the altar chanting, and so you pick the 2 biggest of them, and they all roll their checks.
Christmas saves DC 12.
Okay. You feel the power seems to take effect on one of the people in the circle and the archpriest, both of whom suddenly seem a little more sluggish and
So,
almost dazed.
so whenever they make an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, because I can concentrate on it for up to a minute, they have to roll a d4 and subtract that from whatever they've rolled.
Okay.
They don't get to make additional saving throws, I believe. No,
Doesn't
they don't get
mention
to
it.
make additional saving throws.
Okay.
As I
Darendil.
see you cast that, sorry, I say, "No, you fool! How do you not know this is not part of some bizarre mating ritual? You will blow our cover."
Darendil, the large quaggoth of the group, backs back similar to Eldith and Sarah, backs into the group and says, "Oh my! What is it we should be doing right now? A hasty
Kill the
exit, possibly.
priestess.
That would be a good plan for anyone but me. I'm going to wait right here. I'll give a shout if you need me. Renlan.
They are not done mating yet.
Renlan.
Okay, so is anyone actually
Their
near
mother
us?
and their
Mhm.
father and daughter. They're
They're-
not mating, probably.
This
Fish
is-
people.
This is such a crowded area, and
Basically rats.
even while they're fighting, these Kuotoans are moving around so much that you basically at every point have a Kuotoan within 5 feet of you. You can't fully tell if they're allied or enemy, the way that they're moving around and such. It really makes it hard to tell.
But we seem to be a very minor factor in the area. It's like we're just those things here to be sacrificed. There's clearly other things they need to be doing. Right
No,
now.
they also are. A few of them, a few of the Deep Father worshippers seem to look like they're going to be making a beeline for yourselves.
Just one big giant fish orgy at the moment. That's what it is.
And you guys are the guests of honor.
You know, it's beautiful in its
Yeah.
own way if it wasn't so disgusting.
Yeah. Well, that does make me think. Fortunately,
Fish orgy.
hellish rebuke is a reaction. So.
Yep.
You can do whatever you like during
Yo-
your turn, and then
Hellish
still
Rebuke.
Hellish Rebuke, bear in mind. As long as
Hellish
it's not
Rebuke
readying an
is-
action.
The
It's like you also
embodiment of
use your
kill it with
action.
fire.
So, in Infernal, I shout as loud as I can because she doesn't need to understand Infernal. I'll just shout, "Puny priestess! Even your father hates you. You're nothing. and she needs to roll for vicious mockery, which is Wisdom DC 13.
Right.
I feel like there's a flaw with your plan here, but
She fails the check.
being as I
She
don't
fails
speak
check,
that
okay.
language.
Mm.
Actually, can I make a check to see if I at least recognize the language he just spoke?
2 psychic damage.
Arcana.
What?
While she's a little sluggish, she suddenly twitches, and you see a little bit of blood coming out of her nose.
Disadvantage on her next attack.
Right.
Come on, we got to keep our guy alive, right?
Can I
course,
also
that's
make
Sarah.
that check, or am I too enthralled with the disgusting mating ritual?
You're more than
6
welcome to
on
make an
my
Arcana
Arcana.
check. You have never heard the language before, and you can't make that check again until you have reason, until you have come across something that
until
gives you
there's an
reason
actual
to.
reason to make that check. Yeah.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, -1. Oh god damn.
Nope, you also are in the same
high
position.
five.
On a good roll before I did that.
Until you at some point either read or hear something and see that's infernal, you can't put 2 and 2 together for that, because that's basically there is no way to know.
Also, I'd imagine that they may not notice that she's bleeding a little bit. Because, I mean,
She-
I'm just shouting in the middle of a huge fight.
That was 2 damage. She barely noticed that she's bleeding a little bit.
It's also we weren't checking the spell; we were checking your language there.
Yeah.
Topsy steps in front of her brother and backs him into the group.
Bubba.
Mhm.
Flynt.
Bubba.
Flynt.
Right, I'm gonna stone up.
Gonna
And
get
Just
hard.
pull out a blunt.
yes, I'm gonna go with yes.
Lots of mushrooms down there. Anyway, what else?
And, second, I'm going to cast Maximilian's Stony Grip. Wait, how far away from them am I?
From who?
From the two priests.
You're about 20 foot away at this point. Like they were 20 foot behind the altar, effectively.
Oh, brilliant. Righty. 30, so about 30 feet, and that's a 30 feet thing. So I'm going to cast a Maximilian's Urban Grasp. I stab my hand into the ground, and suddenly a hand of stone bursts out from the ground behind daughter.
That's strength check, I think.
No,
Beanie, is that the one you used on Saturday? Is that the same spell?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, you have to
Yeah.
make a strength saving throw.
I think. What's
Don't
DC?
forget don't
That
forget she
would be,
takes 1d4 off it.
Oh, that's a very good point.
and the DC is 12.
12. Even with the D4, as long as she doesn't have a minus, I think she's beat that. Sorry, I should have these stats open.
I mean, priestess, she might have a negative strength.
Damn, she's got plus 16 to that. Oh, she's already rolled. Never mind.
Nope, yeah, she's more than fine. The hand comes out from her back, and although she's sluggish, it kind of grabs her, and then she just elbows it and pushes it off her, squeezing herself out the front of it.
Okay, the hand's still there.
The hand's still there. Cupido backs into the group. Turvey has already been backed into the group by his sister. Stool kind of stands, like almost rather than back into the group, edges up to Cobalt, like standing now, touching your feet. Like if you step backwards, you're gonna trip. And Shushar stands there saying, "No, my kin, don't fight. We must be one." Kamar?
I take a moment, I look at Shushar and say, "You are bad at your job." And then I never mentioned that I had my weapons and stuff out. Are my weapons out?
You wouldn't have had them out when you were escorted. Like you had them on you, but if you went to get them out, they kind of you were told quickly to put them away. Like you need to look like sacrifices, not.
In which case, for
Armed
what it's
people.
worth, I would have had to have drawn my shield because that's my holy symbol.
That's fine.
In that
You can
case,
manage that as a single thing.
I can draw one of the things and still move, right? Okay, yeah. Then I draw my flail and how far away is the priestess?
Priestess 20 feet away from you. You can rush to her if you want to.
Yep, I will. Now, can I be real cheesy and say because it's only 20 feet away, can I draw my shield as well?
No.
Dang it, worth a try.
Worth a try.
In that case, I will, if assuming I can actually do this. Is Hunter's Mark a bonus action? Just stop me looking for it.
Yes.
Hunter's Mark is bonus.
Smart.
In Hunter's Mark a ranger spell.
It's also a paladin
Yeah.
spell. It's a martial
Oh, damn.
spell, effectively.
It's an Oath
Really?
of Vengeance thing. It's one of the two spells.
That
I
explains.
thought it was also a paladin. Fair enough.
Nope, it's a Vengeance Paladin thing.
Fair enough. It works
that?
either way.
Hunter's Mark.
So, you Hunter's Marker?
Yep, I Hunter's Marker, I pull out my flail and charge at her, and flail at her.
Does
When you
Hunter's
attack.
Mark affect what we do?
No,
Yes.
it just gives him an extra d6 on the damage.
I'm pretty sure it's anyone who targets that
Nope,
one
just
character.
you.
No, it's just you.
Yeah, it'd be a very powerful first level spell if it was everybody.
Okay.
That's like an extra 66 per turn. If a party is 6.
1d6.
Well, if it's
Yeah,
party
it
of
was
6,
60.
it's 6d6
Oh,
on
sorry.
each,
Yeah,
like one for
sorry,
an
yeah.
attack.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And I have advantage on any wisdom perception or wisdom survival check I make to find them.
So if she tries to disappear, you
Oh,
got
man.
this.
It is concentration, of course.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just smack her upside her head.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Oh. Will he get a low roll again?
She
Wouldn't
might
be
not
the
have
first.
high AC, bear in mind.
Doesn't matter. I've been low. I have not rolled higher than 6 today.
Well,
I just
No
saw,
Chance.
as you said that, I saw Matt's last roll and thought that was yours.
No.
Mhm.
Wait, is that the wrong roll? Hang on. It is +5. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, there you go.
That will be
That
a
should
hit.
Yay!
Be worried if it wasn't, given she's not wearing armor.
Yeah, which is priestess. Blessing of the
Yeah, like
Deemoogoogoon.
really high
Phil,
dex.
neither am I.
Is your AC 16?
Yes.
Really high dex.
Is it really?
Mage armor.
Yeah.
Actually,
So-
remember,
So
your
damage?
AC would have to be at least 17 for that to be a
Yeah, it would
miss.
still hit me. I'm just saying it is 16.
I do have a question. I've written down here my flail does 1d8 plus 3 damage. Does that include my fighting style feat?
What's yours?
What's your strength?
Dueling,
what's
plus
your
2
strength?
damage on one-handed weapons.
What's your strength?
Oh, my strength is +3.
So no, it's not.
No.
Okay,
So
so it's
it'll
1d8
be
plus
+5.
5. I will write that down. I will change that just so I don't keep asking this question. Although then I'm going to ask, is it +5 including my dueling? So
Yeah.
just making it even harder.
Plus 1d6 for your Hunter's
Just
Mark.
next to your damage put includes dueling or something.
I could.
Ink do.
Extra and
Yeah.
dual.
Aha, 12 damage.
So 12 plus your d6.
And oh yeah, sure.
Some smart.
At what point do I have to decide I'm going to smite her?
On the head.
Now, basically.
Actually, before you roll damage technically, but since you're new to it, I'll let you say it now.
Alright, so okay, that's fine. I won't smite her. It's +5, so 17 damage.
Okay. You rush up, kind of spin your flail around as you bring it off your back, and smack right on the back of her head. You actually see a couple of her teeth fly out the front of her skull as she then turns around to look at you, her face even more bloody than it was previously. At this point,
I shout something to the effect of her being repulsive.
at this point, the tide of Kyotoans rushes forwards. Each
I've
of
made
you,
a wise choice.
each of you
Yeah.
find yourselves beset by at least one Kyotoan. Some of you more. Do me a favour, actually, I'll let you guys do this. Roll me a D3.
A D3.
A D3.
Oh, I see. Oh, for fuck's sake.
I got a 1.
Hang on. Is
Oh,
that
just the
correct?
amount
'Cause
of-
I said D3, not 1D3.
That's fine.
It'll be the
Does
same.
it-
It'll
do the
probably
same.
default to 1D3, I imagine.
Yeah. Default's
Yeah.
3.
Because the only other option does 0d3, and it obviously
Hang on,
didn't
okay,
do
right,
that.
I'll tell you what.
Try
Okay,
D3.
Just
Yeah.
just checking.
Still 3.
What if everything after D just defaults to 3, Laurie?
So,
Need to roll again.
Yeah, science.
3 Kyotoans bear down on Renlan, 2 on Cobalt,
Yeah.
and 1 on Flynt and Kamar, respectively.
So it's basically whatever we roll, that's how many of them are on us.
Yep.
Yay.
I'm a dick
Yeah.
DM, I'll make you roll your own destruction.
That's what Phil does with random encounters.
Yeah, it's because that way you can't complain at me when you get a random encounter usually.
No, I don't bitch at you. I
Because
bitch at the
it brings
dice
fun
instead.
Of the 3 attacks, Renlan is only struck by 1. And you take 2 points of damage as I roll minimum.
Hellish rebuke. Goodbye.
Roll damage?
Hang on, I'm just writing down what one's it. 2 damage, yeah?
Yeah. What's your doing that?
DC 13 dex to halve.
He fails. Cobalt, what's your AC?
20.
Really?
You're missed.
12 damage. Fucking awful.
12 fire
It's
damage.
3d10.
How is 12 damage awful?
It's 3d10.
As the spear kind of grazes past you, the Kurotoan looks at you with an expression of joy on his face as he has obviously pleased his deep father lord, bleeding his foes today. And oh god, why is he suddenly on fire? He shrieks in pain as his skin blisters and burns, and he collapses to the floor.
Is he dead?
He is incapacitated. You don't know if he's dead.
Just point out that I hadn't actually changed my my macro. It was still on 2d10, but he's dead, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Just double check that.
So, Cobalt.
Velocity.
Be on 2d10. Oh no, because he's second level spells. Back to me.
Roll,
sorry.
roll
Yeah.
one more d10. See how dead he is.
Both.
It's for you, Mike.
Isn't it the NPCs first?
What? No, I'm still rolling attacks.
Great.
Cobalt, 2 spears bounce off your stony hide. Flynt.
I realised I wouldn't have been able to stone skin and also cast the spell, so I wouldn't currently have my stone skin out. My shield.
Either way, you're taking a hit, I'm afraid. The spear
Yeah.
comes in and stabs into your gut for 4 damage. Already forgetting. Yeah, 4 damage.
Okay. I forget with Constitution saves when you're concentrating on a spell.
It's a DC 10 or half the damage, whichever is higher.
Oh, by the way, I did forget to mention the spells that I've prepared. Just so you know, I'm not going to cheat. It's cure wounds, protection from evil,
14.
good, and compel.
As long as you have them marked on your sheet, I'll trust you. But I trust you guys not to
That's
metagame.
likely a pass.
And yeah, that's pass.
Yeah.
You're fine. You keep your spell. And sorry, Kamar, you are missed as well. As one of them comes up behind you, you just kind of
Ow.
step aside, and the spear just jabs
My
dangerously
shield is
close to
out.
his. Doesn't matter. He rolled a 5 on the dice. He stabs dangerously close to his archpriestess. The rest of your allies fare in similar manners. Each of them taking a couple of between 1 to 3 Kuotones themselves. Darendale actually taking on 4, all of which managed to prod him quite nastily, causing him to let out a shrieking roar as his bloodthirst seems to take over once more. His posh royal demeanour suddenly disappearing once again. And you see at the top the 2 archpriests bashing away at each other with their sceptres. As Pluplepleen brings her sceptre down, angered at Kamar's approach, but still more angered by the heresy of her father, she kind of dodges aside from Kamar, brings up her sceptre and smashes down at him, but is so sluggish that he's able to just duck back, step forward again, and bring his in a 2-handed whack on top of her head, again bringing stars to her eyes.
She's now ignoring me. This is even more insulting. First she exists, and then she ignores me.
Eldith swings her hammer, catching the one of the Kuotones in front of her in the knee. You hear a cracking as the knee itself breaks. She then swings her hammer around in a different direction and smashes it into the side of his skull, dropping him to the floor. Jimjar is still just stood there, kind of, as the Kuotones were attacking him, he just steps aside and is now attempting to loop around them, his eyes completely fixed on the combat that he made the previous wager on, previous to this. The Kuotone that was attacking him, seemingly extremely annoyed at this Neblin's casual attitude towards its attempt of murdering him. Cobalt.
I pull out my mace and smack the one in front of me.
Oh my.
Smack your bitch up.
Whoa.
You've been knocked out.
I miss.
Critical miss.
To note, what I should correct is, when I said all the NPCs were suffering attacks, the ones that backed into the middle are basically protected by the circle of the group, so they weren't being attacked. So like Stool, Turvy, Sarith, and Bupido are not being attacked.
Shusha?
Shusha is being attacked. In fact, whilst he is trying to parlay and call peace, a couple of Kuratoans have charged him, screaming, "Heretic! Heretic!"
Yeah, they do that.
But that's heresy.
Darendil shrieks out a roar as he brings his claws down, latching onto one unfortunate Kuratoan in front of him, and then bringing his mouth down in a giant bite that just takes a chunk out of the top of its head, as he then thrusts it to the floor and turns onto the next foe.
Seafood.
Renlan.
Okay, so can I actually burning hands both of these guys from here? Or
The ones in front of you, yes, but you're going to catch multiple Kuratoan in the effect. You're basically shooting burning flames into a fight beyond you as well, so you're going to catch.
I don't see the downside here.
You're going to catch enemies and allies alike.
He's talking like as a
True.
downside. I don't see it.
however, the thing is that role-playing Renlan, he doesn't give a fuck. Like, I don't want to kill my allies.
Feel free
but
to do it.
Renlan doesn't give a fuck. They're all fish people.
I'm
Now
just
you
I'm just letting you know. That's my job as DM. Tell me what you want
Okay,
to do.
yeah.
Don't say
Dex
he didn't warn
DC
you.
13 to halve.
Okay.
And I did 18. That's fucking. Arrgh.
What'd you roll for that?
It's 4d6.
Wait, 18 on 46.
That's
is
max
really
3d6.
good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, actually, yeah. Sorry, I'm
18's
mathing bad.
You missed out 6 points there. That's really good.
Their deck
Less
saves.
than average.
The ones in front of you both actually make their deck save there.
Oh,
The
fuck. Oh!
The only two you were trying to target.
the four fighting beyond are not quite so lucky as the two in front dodge aside. The four fighting a separate fight all suddenly burn and crisp, and as the flames disappear, you can just see four scorched corpses on the ground.
Isn't it half damage on a miss? On a
It's half damage, yeah.
Yeah.
They took damage, but they're not killed by it.
right, okay.
I think they've got 10 HP. Just throw that there.
Why don't you hit them? Then they'll have 0.
Topsy, she swings at the one in front of her, and you see her bring her war pick forwards, in two hands, and slams it down on the top of the Kuratoan's foot in front of her, who shrieks in pain, leaps on one foot, as she then brings the war pick up and slams it into the back of his knee, causing him to fall backwards onto the floor. She then leaps on top of him, going for the killing blow. Flynt.
I'm gonna go for another swing with the hand. She needs to make another strength save. Minus 1d4.
Minus 1d4. That's 17. She passes. Again, she just shrugs it off.
1d4.
I draw
Yeah,
my
I did
shield.
do that.
Oh, sorry, right, yeah.
You draw your shield. Bibido is in the middle of the group. He doesn't really. So is Turvey. So is Stool. Shusha is still calling, "Please, friends, don't!" as a spear stabs into his side. He then bends back up and says, "No, we must not fight," as another spear comes in at him, even as he says this. Kamar?
Poor fella.
Second
Moron.
verse, same as the first. I pull out my shield this time.
Okay.
And then hit her again.
Okay.
Screaming something to the effect of "all abominations must die" and all that. Wait, I should probably roll to hit before I roll damage.
Mm-hmm.
Good plan.
Yeah, you might save yourself some time.
Hey,
Nice.
20.
That's a hit.
You fucking hope so, yeah.
Mhm.
So, ow, that was awful. That's with the 1d6 as well.
So, you
That's shit.
You bring your flail around again, this time going down low and catching her in the back of her legs, sending her toppling over. As you do this, hearing the cracking of something as you do this, you see... I forget names. Plukleen, the father, leap on her with his scepter, again two-handing it, as she pathetically attempts to flail to keep him away. He brings the scepter down, and you hear a smush as her head just splits. blood and gore going everywhere around the area.
Seal stealer.
Now, at this point, almost as soon, or maybe a second or two after she is killed, you suddenly start to notice things getting a little strange. Kuotoans that were fighting in the shallows of the Dark Lake nearby suddenly disappear beneath the surface as if something is grabbing them and pulling them under. You see the blood rising to the surface of the lake, bubbles and such, and shrieks as the Kuotoans attempt to run from the lake, many of them just being pulled under before they can do so. Those of you a little closer, specifically Kamar probably, you can see swarms and swarms of fish latching onto them and very piranha-like, basically tearing them apart in a blood frenzy.
As in actual fish, not
As
fish
in
people.
actual fish.
Ah, that's not our problem.
Can
is it?
I shout out Deemoogoogoon has forsaken you?
Even as you go to do this, it seems that the female priestess gets one last cry out before her life finally fades. Deemoogoogoon! And another sound rises above the burbling cries of the Kuotoa. Dark surface of the water farther out bubbles and begins to foam. A thick, oily tentacle bursts forth, followed by another.
Oh.
Then two monstrous heads break the surface, both resembling hideous... I'm doing two things at once there. Hideous angry baboons with wickedly curved tusks. Both heads are attached to a single torso, and the monster's red eyes burn with bloodlust and madness. The creature rising from the dark lake must stand 30 feet tall or more, with water cascading down its back and shoulders. Upon reaching its full height, the great demon throws back both its heads and roars.
Oh shit.
Religion check?
Oh yeah, but before you do that, I need everybody to make me a charisma saving throw.
Oh
Who?
my god.
Everyone or just?
Everyone, and that's also the NPCs actually, so you have to give me a minute.
Oh, he looks
Charisma.
happy.
Oh man, I'm proficient in this. Thank God. Some shit at charisma.
21.
I'm going to pop an inspiration on that. Because why the fuck would I not? I still feel like I'm probably going to fail even if I get max.
Ooh.
Watch this be like one off or something.
This thing is either going to be a fairly low one or a fairly high one. I just don't know which.
16?
Either way, this is problematic.
12.
So what was that? 18 for Renlan, 21 for Flynt,
12 for Cobalt.
12 for Cobalt,
Okay.
and 16 for...
Wait, I'm deciding I'm going to add inspiration to that or not.
It's a D4. It's a case of do you think...
I am going to add a D4 to that, I think.
Go for it.
1D4.
So 17.
Sure.
I mean,
it's
you might-
higher, I guess.
This thing, it might be a DC 17. It's unlikely, but it might be.
Cobalt.
This is more of a role-playing
Cobalt's
thing.
failed, I'm assuming.
Give me 2
Has Renlan rolled for
seconds.
this?
to
Yeah, I
check.
got 18.
Oh, yeah.
See, the reason I use inspiration is because I would think Kamar would see something like that and just become immediately engorged. He's like,
Oh, I want to
this must die.
It's like, oh, this makes me moist.
Exactly.
Moist
considering I'm
bloodlust.
I'm probably gonna run into the water like to get it. So yeah,
Makes you moist.
accurate in all regards.
So, not DC 12.
So roll me a d10.
Can I not?
You're gonna please.
This is a
Yeah,
reaction shot, isn't it?
6. No, it's going to be how mad am I?
6. Okay.
Roll 1d10. That's how many more demigorgons.
It's going to be
appear.
like a madness effect or something.
Okay.
Like,
And now roll a D percentile.
oh,
my
I
god.
actually
I
didn't
don't know
even
what
bother
this
putting
is.
in a macro for this.
Ooh.
58. That sounds almost like
I don't
wild
like it
magic.
when he laughs.
As just the sight of this creature suddenly fills your mind, you forget everything. You see that creature and your entire personality is suddenly broken.
Does this count as a disease?
Oh. You
Shit.
have gained the short-term madness. The character must use his or her action every round to attack the nearest creature. For 6 minutes.
How many Kuratone are there around?
All
The
I'm
nearest
saying is-
creature, right now, is pressed against your leg in an attempt to protect itself from the horde of Kuratoans.
Yeah. You've got a stool problem, Phil.
As you turn to run from this hellish creature, the fear completely overcoming you, you almost trip on pathetic creature that is in your way, the mushroom
I almost
thing.
tripped. Can I roll to trip?
No.
Mhm.
So,
Are we redoing initiative?
no, this is
The fight's still going.
the fight. The Kuratoans see this and just drop, babbling into fetal positions in complete chaos and fear. It seems like right now, your group is the only one that is keeping any semblance of sanity. As this happens, Cobalt. Actually, no. Flynt, make a perception check, an insight check.
An insight check, you say?
You guys have no idea the temptation to shout, "We must defeat it from within," and then launch myself at it.
God
Please
damn
don't
it.
roll this.
13.
You notice something wrong with your buddy. Like, you've been around
Nice.
Cobalt enough that you recognise when
got
something is wrong. And just instantly you see this. You see the way he is currently looking at Stool. For this regard, I will say that both of you roll initiative. And this is a surprise round.
Okay, I see. I see.
Oh,
I see how it is.
6. Oh,
1.
Matt. I rolled.
You got a low roll for you,
everything.
come on.
So,
Can't make it easier for us.
if you want to throw a grid up, it's not exactly accurate to the map at hand, but I feel like playing the battle over Demogorgon
A grid
works.
on the Demogorgon's face.
Yeah, makes sense. What are we doing on there?
Why not?
Give me a second, I'll drag your characters on. In fact, best way to do this is probably...
Accurately sized. How big is this thing, actually?
over 30 feet tall.
Right.
So is it?
It's
It's
currently...
as tall as I can
It is
move into
far in the
horizontal.
distance, like it's on the edges of the light of the town, but it is moving towards you. Like it is going to reach this. It is very much making a beeline for Sloopladop. And it is one scary motherfucker. Alright, so the group at hand was... Kamar was about 20 feet ahead of everybody.
I was smacking the bitch up.
Cobalt still was next to you. I'd imagine that Flynt would be near you. Renlan was...
Hang on a sec. It's just because I went
went
furthest
to-
forwards,
alright.
and then Mike ran past me, so I'd say
Yeah.
I'm probably about 20 feet away from him.
That works. I'll just move these guys a little back then. That.
Hey,
All right.
Charles alive. That's nice for him.
That's Shushar is barely alive. Well, he's the only Kuotone that seems to be keeping any semblance of sense here. Like, it very much looks like they are a mad race in general, and his calmness of the mind has protected him from the majority of these effects that have affected his kin. Okay, so the first to react to this is Cobalt, unfortunately.
Yeah. What's the exact wording on my affliction?
Each round, you must attack the nearest creature
Attack.
with the intent. I'm going to say with the intent to kill. Like, in my mind, that
I know,
should be a
it's
part of
more
it. So.
just- Yeah.
I think it's because he's looking at Stool. He's like, is there any loophole I can go through here?
And
It's more like, is there a way I can kind of limit this somewhat, or kind of,
Try and punch him
if
so they
nice,
hit him with
like,
a weapon.
edge it in Stool's favour a bit?
feel free to go for the narrative here as much as you want, but the idea of the
Yeah, I
madness
get- I
is
get-
you
I
are
get.
basically a fury. A savage fury has just overtaken you. There
I
is
will-
no sense there.
I will babble incoherently, I suppose, given I am mad.
Mhm.
and I will Sacred Flame stall.
I will say, for what it's worth, you don't have access to your spells right now. You're not thinking right.
That kind of helps a little bit, I suppose,
Like-
in the sense that that stops me doing the really big, powerful spells. However, at the same time, that means I'm still going to hit him, and he's probably not got a high AC. So, well.
That one.
For what it's worth, if you did have access to your spells, I'd have probably ruled it. You would have been using everything in your power to destroy this little kid. So,
What it's worth, my last attack with my mace wasn't that one. Did I drop my mace?
you did not, I'm afraid.
God damn it. Okay. I think I might have just rolled twice there, because I think Map Tools is acting up. So, just give me a second.
I don't see your roll.
I was going to say, I don't see
Yeah,
any
that's
roll.
because it's done this before. Sometimes it takes a moment.
Does Evil DM get to make a player kill his favourite NPC? Find out. Soon,
Next time.
maybe. Next time.
Dragon Ball Z.
Maybe. Ah, there we go.
Alright, I've just rolled.
The first one is a 10.
No, it's 14.
Which is a 14, which is a hit.
Dice.
That's a hit. How much damage is that?
That'll be 1d6 plus 2, so 3 damage.
3 damage.
I will be screaming nonsense.
As your mace comes down and smacks the little toadstool on the head, there is a brief second where the toadstool itself is indented a little, and then spores in the air all around, and you hear screams of, you can't even make out the words, like everybody around within the radius of this just gets the emanation of complete confusion and betrayal of this poor little stool.
From me.
And we're all aware of what just happened.
And yeah, suddenly your minds are filled with a bloodlust, one that you guys can control, but you recognise that it is coming from the stone golem of the party. Flynt, you recognise that this was about to happen. You reacted just a little too late, but you are still able to react before the rest of the party.
Shit. Right. I'm going to pull up my hammer. This is going to hurt you. This is going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me.
No,
I'll
it's
tell you that right now.
not.
And I yell to Stool to run, and I'm going to Booming Blade.
Okay.
Slapping Cobalt in the face, hopefully.
Okay,
Remember
roll
what
your attack.
happened when the last party member started attacking other party members?
Wait a sec.
I'm just
What I'm
saying.
saying
Yeah.
is I'm the cleric here.
Well,
I'm a
the cleric-
paladin. I know cure wounds.
Yeah,
without
but
access
you
to
won't kill the
spells.
party.
Yeah.
I
I'll
can
cure me.
stabilize. I just can't stabilize Phil.
12.
That's
12?
a miss.
That's a mess.
Yep.
So as your blade,
You're not hitting me anytime.
as your pick, isn't it? Mining pick.
Yeah. No, it's a war pick.
War pick, sorry. As your pick comes forward, you slam it around, and Cobalt, even in his anger, just brings his arm up and smashes it away, getting his mace ready for another attack on the little toadstool. At this point, it's initiatives.
Wait, we're redoing initiatives.
Yeah, because it's the new
Yeah,
combat.
it's essentially where
Trust me, I hate this more than you.
you really don't.
Right.
No, as in, I hate rerolling the initiatives. I'm loving the fact that I'm making you kill Stool here, but
Oh great! Now I can roll.
Now you can get a high initiative.
It's actually the
I
exact
don't want
opposite.
to get high initiative.
10.
you don't need to roll. You two, Flynt and Cobalt, have already rolled. That was what your
Oh,
original
that's
ones were.
alright, because I rolled shit that time.
Yep.
Good.
This there will be fighting time.
So Cobalt, what'd you get? You got 6.
I got 6 originally, yeah.
And I got 1.
Yeah, I just probably briefly. I just glanced at them to see which was lowest first. I didn't really take in what you rolled, Matt.
Everybody, like, including
Also-
NPCs rolling again.
Also to note, it does. Yeah, they are. This is a new combat. To note, Durandil is still tearing into the Kuotones near him. He hasn't stopped.
Yeah, he does that.
Renlan,
Let's talk them dead.
I got 13.
13.
So you've gone the way of the rod then.
Who's gone the way of what?
He's gone the way of the orc.
Now,
As in,
I'd
he's
like to
going to
point
die.
I'd like to point out that I'm not going to turn and attack you, even though the last time somebody attacked the party did, because there's a giant evil thingy.
You're more concerned about the giant evil thing, yes.
Concern is the wrong word. Engorged by is what
I will say that Kamar, this is the greatest evil you've ever seen. You also are smart enough to recognize it is the most powerful. This is.
So what you're saying is, this is my moment to write my name into legend.
You know that
Yes.
this.
The guy who gets instantly killed by the.
I was gonna say, just looking at it, you recognize it could flick you, and you're a bee to it. You're an ant right now.
But
So-
the important thing is, there's a lot of ants, and
Yep.
a lot of ants can still equal one dead person.
You're welcome to do what you want, but just know that
To be
that you
fair
do
here,
recognize. Like I'm not being mean.
One of his tenets of his oath of vengeance is to fight the greater evil. It is literally given the choice of the lesser or the greater evil. He has to fight the greater evil.
That's fair. If you want to fulfill that, you can do. I'm just, and I will hold you to your oath. Unfortunately, that is.
Well, if he leaves, he will literally lose his oath.
Yeah.
It depends how merciful. on
No,
the end,
that
I suppose.
you've actually just reminded me, and that is a very good point. This is literally your oath: is to fight the bigger things. That said,
I know.
like,
To be fair, Mike was wanting to anyway.
I was gonna anyway.
Oathbreaker.
And I got 21 initiative. Try and stop me, bitches.
21 on initiative, you say?
You're not even gonna
21,
get
yeah.
Deemoogoogoon, and you're gonna dive into the water and get eaten by fish.
Probably, yeah. I don't think that far ahead, Matt.
No,
So
but this is
the
the
day-
lesser evil.
So
This
this
is
the
no, it's
day
lots
Mike
of
rolls
little
a new
evils.
character.
Yeah, you may need a new character for next week. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna take it easy on you for the sake of the narrative.
It's for the best. Let's be honest.
God damn it! I didn't
Listen,
think I'd
that's
have to
all we
write in a
tried.
new character this early in the campaign.
I think there's a bit of an issue taking Oath of Vengeance and then having a demon prince appear in the next session.
Yeah, there is.
Look, it's part of his character.
It's
he's a
play
paladin.
your
But,
character. Like you're more than welcome to play your
really good reason
character.
Why he would just break his oath right now? Then he's
Uh,
gonna go fight that thing.
You could go with the argument that running away to fight at a later date and potentially win
Well-
means he
Wait, no.
does
He
more benefit.
I tell you what.
just needs to
in the long
spawn an
run,
even
but-
bigger evil, like behind us, and then a bigger evil behind that, and a bigger evil behind that.
Just the chain of bigger evils. Like,
So you just keep running to
Exactly.
the biggest evil, and then they all just disappear at the same time. You're like, oh,
Exactly.
what happens when that chain ends, though, Mike? Like, at what
all
point
just
do you go?
Cthulhu. What's that,
As long
please?
as the chain takes long enough, he might be an old man by then.
Well, first
And
off,
his knees just break, and he's like, "Well,
I'll get
Adventure time,
you.
so-
first to react, strangely enough, is Sareth the Drow, who shrieks
that?
"No!" and jumps on Cobalt, attempting to grapple you.
Wow.
Oh,
You
no.
easily push him off though as he falls to the ground on his bouncing off his butt.
Because it's a grapple, bear in mind it's an opposed check, not an ace.
That is true. He rolled a 3 on the dice, but feel free to roll. I'll admit, I didn't make you roll there just because.
I'm
This.
genuinely
could?
surprised about how shocked he was that you attacked Stool."
Actually,
I thought
okay,
he'd be
in
like,
fairness, the lowest I can get is 3. So, yeah, I break 3.
Now, should
I'm
I?
assuming I'm not going to let him grapple me.
Yeah, you throw him off. He bounces
So
on his
I would
ass.
be doing athletics, which is my better of the 2. So, well, even if I wasn't, it's still high enough.
Rapido backs away.
Naturally.
Come on.
Now, here's the question: do I or do I not compel the demon prince to a duel?
Right now, he is maybe 2 to 400 feet away from you. Like, he is not
Okay.
within range
It's a
of most of your
long
spells.
distance
Yeah.
away.
Like, but he is
Cobalt
moving
not a
towards you.
greater evil.
And
No, I'm still not the greater evil.
just look at,
Greatest
like,
Imminent evil.
just his walking towards you is causing great waves to splash against the docks of this place. Like, his casual walk is causing close to tidal, well, not tidal waves, but like vicious waves to approach just by his mere
Okay,
movement.
I'm dumb, but I'm not so dumb as to run into a tsunami. Not that dumb.
That's the point. Is it a demon or a devil?
We've been told.
You've been told he's the Prince of Demons.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fine.
However, the person that would probably recognise this is currently insane.
That said, yeah, you don't know. You don't actually know what this is. Like, this is just a great, powerful creature that scares the shit out of you.
Well, we have
Okay.
been.
If you want to roll an
told
Arcana
that
check, you can
somebody
do.
At some point said the word demon. I forget who it was.
To be fair, also the priestess did shout out Deemoogoogoon before died,
She shouted out Lee Magoogan, and then
which
coincidentally,
said
shortly after, this thing appeared. You don't know it's the same thing.
Could
Maybe
be
it's
coincidence.
unrelated.
maybe,
Okay.
probably not.
Maybe she cast Phantasmal Force.
Okay. I shout at Phil's character, whose name I've immediately
Cobalt.
forgotten. Cobalt. Shout at Cobalt. Quit your raving. This time we must stand strong against the greatest evil. Hold your ground. This day our names are written into legends. Who is with me? And then start running towards the water. And switch my hunter's mark to him.
Okay,
Because you can.
as you...
What's the range on that? I might not be able to.
I don't think you can, actually.
To be fair, I don't.
Switch it to the fish, all of them.
Let's go to again.
I'm not like running. I'd like to point out, I'm not running into the waves. I'm sort of like running towards.
You are
the
basically
waves.
next to the water, like where you're stood.
Ah, it's 90 feet. Okay. In that case,
So-
I just shield one hand, flail the other one. I'm totally gonna put that hunter's mark on him as soon as he's in range.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it.
Topsy, kind of swings around, pushing her brother out of the way, and now stepping between Cobalt, the crazed Cobalt, and her brother. Stool, again, lets out frightened shrieks of betrayal and confusion, and runs away. This provokes an attack opportunity.
Yeah, it does.
God damn it.
Where's he going to
We have
run?
one job, and that's to not get hit a lot. How are you bad at this job?
He runs behind Eldith.
Oh,
16's a hit.
Go on.
Question. My +2 dueling, does that apply to my hand crossbow as well?
It's melee
It
weapons, I
has to be
believe.
melee
Just
weapon.
melee weapon. Okay.
4 damage.
4 damage. Okay. So Stool almost gets propelled forwards as your mace hits it in its behind. And then almost as soon as Stool leaves reach, your anger turns towards those nearest you. At this point, both Sarif and
Someone
Flynt
just
are
try
actively
and
attracted.
grapple me.
And so he just attacked you. So both Flynt and Sarif are close to you. I'll let you choose between the two. Yeah, I'll let you choose between the two. I'll trust you to play the narrative.
I would probably go with Sarith currently just 'cause he tried to grapple me, so I assume he's very up close and personal.
You bat him off like he fell off you.
I know, but the point is he's still not necessarily at this exact very immediate moment in time, but
at one point he was,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
at that
yes.
point, Stool was closer to you. Your focus was on Stool.
well, yeah.
Like, if you're going for the technicals,
I think what
Flynt
he's
is the
saying
closest
is
to you when you
At
change
that point,
mind.
he did get up in his face at one point.
He did, but
Even though
at
he's been backed away now.
that point you weren't paying attention to him as much. You were focused on Stool. Like, as soon as Stool goes, that's when you're suddenly turned towards Flynt and Sarif, and both are about the same distance from you. Renlan.
Well, if you want to pick it, he was looking directly down, so the closest is. the
Either
dark
way,
elf, 'cause you
again-
it's better
again,
and stuff, yeah.
I said I'd let you play the
So
narrative, and then I
all of
argued it.
these-
I'll let you
all these fish
choose.
creatures are now like they just like grovel on the floor. They're kind of like praying to it or something.
They're fetal, but like some are praying, some go fetal, like arms over their heads, rocking back and forth. Others are screaming out "Deemoogoogoon, Deemoogoogoon,"
Right.
like all in fits of terror and insanity.
Out of the two that are now on the floor in front of me, I aim my hand at the one who actually managed to damage me,
Mhm.
and I Eldritch Blast him.
Roll your attack roll.
Are you just trying to farm temporary hit
Yep.
points right now?
I don't think you understand, Mike. This thing actually caused me to bleed my blood. He dies today.
Made you bleed your
Your-
own blood.
Your green ball of energy shoots from your palm, just literally almost like drops out of your hand and smashes on its head. You hear cracking as its skull breaks on the top of it, and it just collapses in a pool of its own blood.
And then I'll just say, "Run to the boats now. We sail away from this town." And then I just sort of.
Why
I just
couldn't
sort of
you run
move
before
around.
Stool did?
Roll a persuasion check to see how much attention you get over literally everything that's happening right now.
Okay. Persuasion. I don't think
Nope.
anyone gives a fuck.
Over-
I think they're kind of more consumed with what's going on right now.
Overall, the noise of what's happening, and like you all kind of think you hear Renlan say shout something, but he is just running away right now.
I don't.
Jimjar, he looks up at what's happening, sees Kamar ready up, and say, "Yeah, even I'm not dumb enough to place a wager against that thing," and turns around and runs.
You talking about me or the Deemoogoogoon?
Yes.
Well, he's running away.
Direction-
Let that be it. He's going
Direction is
south.
the boat, by the way.
Technically, the boats could be like there's ports entirely across the top area. Basically, like think that this is the Dark Lake up here. There's piers going all along it across the town. So you could probably find one further away if you wanted to get away from where this is happening. But
Considering
Yeah.
the water
Considering
everywhere is
the
pretty
water.
rough.
I think I'm going to avoid the water.
Either way, you didn't hear what Renlan said, so Eldith
Yeah.
kind of says something's wrong with the stone man. Puts an arm down, and grabs stool. Then runs again away from what's happening, carrying stool under her arm.
God.
Oh, she's carrying a stool.
She says, "Come on, little one, out of here." Cobalt, your turn. Let's have some fun. Who are you attacking?
I'll be attacking Sareth.
Gonna say roll a d4.
Yeah, feel free to roll your attack.
Or if you'd rather do that.
I trust you to play the narrative. Like, I know you value the story as much as I, so
I would be going with mace because I've not got spells or anything. So that's a 12.
that is a hit.
That's 6 damage.
Hmm.
Man, I'm 3 for 3 at the moment.
Sorry, that's it. I've got his AC written down wrong here. It's actually a miss. He's wearing a chain shirt.
Oh.
My bad.
Oh.
So,
thought you were
as
cloth.
although actually no, he is currently prone because he fell onto his arse. So roll an
In which case I've got
advantage.
advantage.
Yeah.
14.
That's still a miss. You bring your mace down, and he lets out a whoo as he backs away. The mace landing between his legs. Turvey shrieks and makes sure his sister's even more between him and you. Shushar
Pretty sure that's what everyone's doing at the moment.
Shushar says,
Hey, what's this everyone?
"My friend, what are you?" At which point, Derendil, still in his craze, reaches out and slashes at Shushar.
No.
Oh no, not the no. He was important.
I mean, he's probably the one we care least about, to be perfectly honest.
He's not even helpful.
Both
Like,
attack.
Roll's here.
Yeah, look how well that's
Yep,
going.
both attacks hit.
True.
Hey, you guys asked for him to bring you here. I mean, he recommended it, yeah, but
Everyone else was like,
don't blame a person for their vacation recommendations.
I hope you guys follow me to the boat.
To be
What
fair,
about that.
To be fair, came here more because everywhere else was like a month away, and this was like
Yeah, this was the
Yeah.
closest place.
Basically, how are you to know that this thing would appear? Anyway, Quaggoth brings his claws down and rakes across Shushar, who, along with the wounds he'd already taken from the spears, just falls backwards. He is, at the very least, incapacitated. You have no clue whether or not he is dead.
Wait, sorry, who did that to him?
Prince Darendil, Quaggoth, the elf turned Quaggoth,
Oh.
who is still in a frenzy from the fight. He then, with his newest foe down, he then turns towards the other nearest.
Is it me?
He turns to one of the other nearest targets and is now bearing down on Cobalt from the other side. Flynt,
Whew.
your turn.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
dear.
going to move down here.
Why does
Try to get
nobody
myself
want
sort
to
of between
save me
Cobalt
from
and
my own
Topsy.
stupidity?
This madness that sort of takes Darendil, this isn't similar to the one Cobalt's.
You've seen this before. This happened in the ambush of the Coatones as well. It seemed when things attacked him and actually hurt him, he seemed to become much more like the creature he holds the form of
Okay.
than the elven royalty he claims to be.
Prince, calm yourself. We're friends, and then I'm going to try and shove Cobalt prone.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage because you're trying to do an action at the same time.
Persuasion check, you say?
Yep.
Can you do those?
He's
we're
a
about to
sorcerer,
start.
so I'd hope so.
I was gonna say.
Hmm.
You might be really good in intimidation.
8.
Jeez.
You
Christ.
say that it doesn't, as far as you can tell, it doesn't seem to break through Prince Darendil's perception. As you then attempt to trip Cobalt.
I forget how tripping works.
It's the same. It's the same as a grapple. It's an
Same
opposed.
Opposed athletics, or you can use
Either
acrobatics to
athletics
resist.
Or acrobatics, yeah.
It would be athletics in my case.
Yep.
This is a
24.
That
Oh,
works. So,
There we go. Yeah.
bringing your pickaxe around, you hook it behind Cobalt's legs, yank it with one hand, and Cobalt stands there tight. Bring your left hand down, and with all your might, bring your axe up, yanking his ankles out from beneath him, and as Cobalt crashes to the floor,
So, what you're
enraged
telling me
and angry.
is he just got yankled.
Sarith then leaps on top of him, attempting to hold him still. Roll me an athletics check or acrobatics check, Phil.
11.
Defender
You get
wins.
Prince on top of you.
So you,
Sorry.
as defender wins. So as the drow kind of falls onto you, you just manage to push him off in your frenzy. Although it did take you mostly by surprise. Papido is out of sight. Kamar, this thing is getting closer. At this point, you see the waves getting rougher and rougher as suddenly a much larger wave rushes towards you. Make me a strength check. A strength saving throw, in fact.
Is it within 90 feet of me yet?
He isn't. No, he isn't. He is just casually strolling. Even at his size, it's going to take him several rounds to get to reach you.
I'm gonna hunter's mark him as soon as he's in the range.
Yep, that's fine.
I'm doing it. It's gonna happen. Strength.
That's fine.
Just straight strength or
Strength
anything.
save.
Strength
I'm calling
saving.
it out on that one. I'm calling it out on that one.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm gonna
Probably
give
the
him
only
a
way I
5 on the
survive
dice.
this. I do not have the proficiency in this.
So I should actually get his stat page open.
Nah,
Oh,
Damn
no,
it.
no, that's an auto success, Mike.
No, it's not.
It is 20s on saving throws for
Save,
auto
no,
success.
it's only attacks. Saving throws aren't auto successes in 5th
Sure,
edition.
saves are.
Not 5th
Either
edition.
way, that's a save against this. It wasn't an attack from him. This is just a environment effect from him being around, effectively. So you don't get knocked prone. You don't take full damage, but you do take 3 points of damage as the wave hits you hard.
3 points.
Mhm.
What kind of damage?
It's
Bludgeoning.
it's
Just the
bludgeoning.
wave.
So 0 damage then.
I'm actually trying to think here because it is.
It's just a physical force hitting him with bludgeoning.
Well, yeah, but
He's
but
not
his
smashing
his
on the
DR is specifically versus non-mundane weaponry. Like I'm actually trying because this is a different style of attack kind of thing than actual weapons. Like it's hitting your full body, so I'm going to say that this bypasses that. Like,
Well, ain't that a bitch? Okay.
trust me, that's the least of things that this guy's going to do to you.
Okay. In that case, I shout, "Is that all you've got?" And then use lay on hands on myself for 3 points of it.
I like her. He's like, is this all you've got? And the guy's just like, I'm just walking over here.
Like, who the fuck are you? What? So yeah, so I'm back up to full health.
Okay.
And shout, "Fight me!" and all the other things that are tremendously unwise.
What, mate?
All right.
Yeah, well, you got to throw me, mum.
Sorry. Yeah. At this point, I've got that open. I didn't even look at his bloody speed.
Everything I'm doing is an awful plan.
Okay,
You
cool.
are generally an awful plan.
It's okay, Mike. You're role playing. That's what you're supposed
Yeah.
to be doing.
Go for the narrative. I always say it. Topsy, seeing what's happening, lets out a shriek and says, "Just stop him! We need to run!" And kind of pushes Turvy back as she withdraws.
Oh, not me, him. Okay, good.
Uh,
I was like, "Oh, good. Somebody cares." No. Okay. Why will nobody rescue me from my bottomless stupidity?
Renlan.
We've just seen it too much. We're done.
but I'm useful.
I'm guessing Jim Jar, Papido, Stool, and Eldrith are kind of running away from the fight now.
Papido, Jim Jar, Stool, and Eldif are all running away. Topsy and Toby just kind of backing away, not sure what to do.
I'm basically going to be running with them, just trying to say we need to find the nearest boat, and we're just going to get on it and sail away with as many friends as we can. That's basically what I'm going to be doing now. As
you move towards them, you don't need to roll a persuasion check now. You can say that to them. And Jim Jar says, "Aye, I think I saw a boat the other side the cavern. Let's just head that way." And he indicates a direction that you can take through the streets. As you all kind of group up as a fivesome. Can you roll me a persuasion check on this? Just to see if Topsy and Turvy do not hear this plan.
Oh my god.
Jim Jar runs with you, Eldif runs with you. Cobalt, your turn.
I stand up. I don't want to fight laying down. That's a very vulnerable position.
It is.
And then I swing at the guy that knocked me down.
That's fair.
Hi, Flynt.
Hello.
Uh, 14.
14 is a miss on Flynt, I'm pretty sure. You've got 9 or 11 or 16 or 18.
That's a lot of different choices there.
It's because he's got his shield, he's got his stone armor. So what, sorry?
It depends on whether I'm stoned and whether I'm shielded.
You've got your shield, but you've not got your stoned.
I'm not stoned, so that's actually a hit.
Being stoned during a fight is probably not a good idea.
8 damage.
Bludgeoning if it makes a difference.
Right.
No, not really.
I am 4 for 4.
Cobalt to Turvy as he gets ready to run with his sister.
You did miss someone.
I've not missed someone with my mace yet.
You missed Seraph last turn. You missed him last turn. Yep.
Yeah.
You almost hit him, but then I remembered he has a chain shirt.
Yes.
Shusha.
No, wait, that armor he has on.
Derendil. He turns on the nearest target, which is Cobalt, and hacks at you with his claws.
20.
You still prone?
That's a hit and a miss. One of the claws bounces off you, but it just seems to enrage him more as he digs in with his other claw for 5 points of damage.
Okay, I'm on 22.
Yep. Flynt, your turn. The creature in the distance is getting closer.
Yeah. On the other hand, Cobalt's kind of crazy. I kind of prefer he not die.
I'm here too.
I imagine you would.
Yeah, but no one cares about you, Mike. That's
You're not close enough to be cared about at this point.
I'm going to try and knock some sense into him. However, I know I built him far too well, and I can't actually physically hit him.
Damn these gifted hands!
What I can do, however, is catch him off guard. Are there any weapons lying around on the floor nearby?
There's lots of spears from the Kyotoans.
One of them flings at him.
Okay, this is one of your spells, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Can I just double check?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be making saves every round?
Oh.
Or is it really that cruel?
This is how madness works.
Okay.
Wait,
6
so
minutes worth.
Yep.
What triggers the
Okay,
stop?
so
Rounds.
Sorry?
one of the spears of a nearby Kyotoan shivers and then flings itself at him.
Okay.
You have to make a saving throw. A
Dexterity, I'm assuming?
Sorry. Yep. DC 12.
16.
The spear flies past him.
The spear flies past him and slams into the ground near Kamar's feet. They're providing weapons for your fight, Mike, don't worry.
Yes, gather your arms! We can take it!
The creature starts stomping closer and closer. What did we find out the range of Hunter's Mark was?
90 feet, wasn't it?
90 feet.
At this point, the creature is just beyond 100 feet from you.
Damn it!
as its eyes, one of its heads, its leering baboon-like face, slightly cocked to the side, stares down at you. You look into its deep, burning eyes. Roll me a charisma saving throw.
Bye, Mike. It was nice knowing you.
Like,
Oh, charisma. You can do charisma.
Actually, no.
mate.
Sorry. A choice here. As it looks down towards you, do you meet its gaze or do you look away?
So I'm rolling charisma then.
Oh, wisdom saving throw.
What the?
Oh, wisdom.
Oh, come on!
It's alright.
Why gotta be like that?
you've got proficiency in wisdom saves, don't you?
I do, yeah, but I only have 10 wisdom, so it's still it's only
He's
plus
not a
that
one.
very
bad.
wisdomous person.
I'm not a very wise person, no.
If that
You are
wasn't
of
really obvious
average
so far in the
wisdom.
campaign.
You are averagely wise.
I think I have one more extra dice. Oh my god, what's it called? Inspiration.
Inspiration?
One more of those.
Now's the time to use it.
Nope.
Don't worry,
I
never
mean,
mind.
You got 22, so let me put it this
I'm
way:
good.
you're probably not going to want to use it there.
DC
So,
23.
Wow! Wow!
This is, to be fair, a CR 26 creature. So,
Still,
bullshit is what it is.
roll me a D3, Mike.
I'm just
D3.
having flashbacks to our Pathfinder Mythic campaign where everything's DC and
Oh,
AC
God.
is really fucking high.
There's a reason I
like,
stopped
yeah,
playing
after all,
Pathfinder.
more it's like, yeah, okay, you still don't hit those.
I
that's
get
fine.
41 on perception. You still can't see it. What? Fucking
It's
mate.
like it got to a point in that game where everything you've told me, there's no point in rolling a d20. Like you may as well just say whose stats are higher, they win.
Yeah, basically, that's the problem with it. Like,
Every match was either we kill it in one round or it kills a party member. So
Yes.
usually it ended with us killing it in one round because we had the paladin who had ridiculously powerful crits, and the barbarian
also
who had
had,
ridiculously powerful crits.
And the everything who just got in the way and made us invincible.
yeah, it was Pathfinder Mythic, or Pathfinder in general, like high level, gets very much glass cannony. Pathfinder Mythic gets very much glass cannony. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
Mike, you were under the effects of a confusion spell.
That's new.
I will let you know how that affects you on your turn.
No, we should have cast protection from evil and good last round.
Sareth,
Yeah, you probably should have.
seeing that Stool has been carried away, he kind of turns and just sees the creature in the distance. You hear him go, "Ah!" and suddenly he just flees, bolts,
I see.
provoking an attack. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
that's a hit.
Twice that. No, I rolled
Oh, the
twice.
first one's a miss, yeah. So you swing and kind of catch the back of his chain shirt, almost propelling him forward, but doing no actual harm to him. Papido is with Renlan. Kamar. So,
Oh yes.
you need to
yeah.
roll me a... Just let me get the spell up.
Oh man.
I think it's a D6.
I think it's a D6, but I'm just going to double check.
I can't wait to
Confusion, is it?
bomb some Dodongos.
Oh dear.
Confusion is a D10.
Yep, D10. Oh my god, it's so
Just
badly
D10.
wrote on this.
Is it just roll d10 then?
Yep, roll D10.
7, whatever that means.
7. Creature uses its action to make a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within its reach. If there are no creatures within its reach, the creature does nothing this turn. So, you look around and ready yourself. You basically swing at the air at this thing as it approaches, like furious at it and determined that you're going to get this kill. Topsy. And
You're saying I didn't get confused at all then?
you basically you got even more angry than you were previously.
Wow,
Topsy and
I didn't
turvy.
think that's possible.
Rush away. Fortunately, Topsy notices Renlan and the rest running in a direction, so she drags Turvy that way. They're behind you, but it looks like they're making the same direction as you, Laurie.
Oh, serious question, Beanie.
Mhm.
Did all of my flailing take me 10 feet closer to the Demigorgon? If it did, Hunter's mark that bitch.
No, but it did step you forwards into the water.
Okay.
Oh,
Give me a
yeah,
second.
yeah. Just be glad he didn't do this to you when the wave hit you. Then we got,
I
like,
was thinking, is the
covered
wave
in
going to be filled with piranhas?
Yeah.
Bear in mind, it's a bonus action to transfer
It is,
your
so it's on my
spark
turn.
anyway.
Yeah, it is.
Well, he's got it basically as a reaction. Although the confusion
I'm
gets rid of that.
pretty prepared.
Actually, yeah, the confusion's just got rid of that, unfortunately.
Oh man, that's the real tragedy here.
As about... Roll me a d12, Mike.
D12. I should roll one of these this game.
28 piranhas.
D12. Yep, 4 piranhas per.
So,
Oh no.
12
Mike.
Ixitzachitil fish start nibbling and gnawing at your flesh.
What?
What kind of damage?
Piercing.
Eating him.
Aha!
And this is weapon, so you do get to reduce each one by 3.
Yep.
So,
It's only gonna go well.
what's your
No, it's
AC? It
not.
is 18.
18, yeah. If you count the shield in this situation.
I do.
Still got it. I don't see why.
You're still aware to the combat, so you still act like almost subconsciously, just basically flinging it into the water to try and scoop them away.
He's trying to bat a fish.
So-
What is this? Some sort of chef?
Roll.
Ah,
That's 3 misses. 1 hit.
oh, man.
2 hits.
It's
3
done,
hits.
though.
50-50.
Oh, it's only
3
six.
hits.
So
First
that-
attack is
24.
3 points of damage, which is countered by your damage reduction.
0.
Second attack is 3, which is countered. And the third attack is 4, which goes down to 1 because of your damage reduction. So you're...
That's because I decided to headbutt that one. It was a terrible plan. I don't know why I did it. It just obviously.
Because you're dumb.
I'm
obviously.
not the smartest person, no.
Renlan, you're just running towards the area where the boat is. It's going to take you a few rounds to get there. Jim Jar is with you. Eldif is with
smart
you.
thing.
Cobalt!
I swing at Flynt.
During your attack.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh.
Roll damage.
Goes well.
This wasn't...
We thought Mike was gonna die
This wasn't
8
supposed to
damage.
go this way, guys. I know I'm a cruel DM, but this wasn't supposed to go this way. 8
So,
damage.
Not too bad, but still.
The mace comes down and smashes on the top of Flint's head, which for any other race would be a critical hit, but Flint's a dwarf. It's his hardest part. So, you take 8 points of damage.
Aha, the fool decided to hit me in the head.
I'm pretty sure that's actually a line from one of the Dritz novels, said by Bruno, the King of Dwarfs. The King of a Dwarven tribe.
King of Old Wolves.
I mean, could be the king of all dwarves, yeah.
Turvey is
King of
running.
the dwarves.
Shushar is totally fine. Darendil swings at Cobalt.
20 to beat.
He misses both.
Good.
Pretty sure. Oh no, sorry, one of those hits. I thought it was +3. He's actually
Really?
+5. You take 6 points of damage.
Ow. 16 health.
Earlier, I was wondering like how this fight was going to go, seeing as we're trying to do a plan and we're not good at plans. The plan actually went well. It's what happened after the plan.
The
Basically,
thing is, I was like,
We
this
didn't
is
plan
going
for
far
this.
too easy. Especially when the priestess died. It's like, that was like 1 round. This can't be. Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Actually,
guessing it
because
was,
there was so many enemies.
it was the equivalent of us sacrificing the priestess.
Yep.
I figured that one out
Yes.
before I hit her. Like, yeah, this is exactly what they want.
so Flint, your turn.
Right, that kind of hurts. So, and Darendil's still kind of mad, so I'm gonna stone up.
Okay, is that your action?
Um,
You
God.
don't get stoned
my
while you're
action.
fighting.
And I'm just gonna turn to
Just
Darendil.
make it
and say-
harder to hit him.
I'm gonna say, Darendil, get out of here while you still can.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage because again you're not doing it as an action. What's DC?
I like how I'm the one actively picking a
10.
fight with that monstrosity, and I'm still winning.
He doesn't break the
The
frenzy.
issue here is,
Damn
the
it.
issue here, Mike, is you're the one that can fix me.
Yeah, I know.
As
Nobody's asked.
the demonic creature stalks through the waves, now about 50 feet from Kamar.
I'm totally gonna hunter's mark that bitch.
The confusion
You're still confusion.
is
I
broken.
know.
Oh.
Aha.
Are
Hunter's
you?
mark.
However, the creature is still staring at you. Are you breaking your gaze from it? You felt its
No.
intrusion in your mind.
Well,
In
I
fact,
did, but
Not only
that
did
just makes me angrier.
not only did you feel its intrusion in your mind, you felt that overbearing, most powerful force you've ever felt in your mind. Like, this is enough to send a chill through your bones 10 times over.
Okay.
This is
but
kind of a you can't beat it kind of
I
situation.
understand that. However, that's not how this goes.
Oh, fair enough.
I understand that by all
That's-
indication I should run away, but that's not how it works.
No,
I-
I mean more as in you would at least know. Don't look it in the eyes necessarily. Like by all means, stand your ground, but you'd probably have enough sense to go. Don't look this thing in the eyes. It'll just murder me for that.
So bear in mind, I suppose it's already done this to you once. If you want to actually stand your ground, you go, okay, as long as I don't look it in the eye, I can fight this thing.
Yeah, basically.
As long as you don't look it in the eye, you can win.
You can at
Okay.
least fight back. I think it's
His best weapon is fish.
Yeah, I mean, so far all he's done is pitiful waves and thrown fish at me. He's
Yeah.
clearly not a threat.
And he gave you the stink eye.
I guess I will. At the moment of seeing him try to look at me, I'll throw my shield up in front of me as if I was fighting a Medusa behind me, and use it as to block his gaze from me.
Okay. As you do that, you hear it roar, and suddenly, as you feel the waves getting much rougher, as this creature is now running your direction.
Oh, goodbye.
Great.
Oh,
Knew I should have stared it in
Come
the
on,
eyes.
you better get knocked out soon.
I'm on 16 health.
Come
You better
on.
get knocked out soon.
Let me put it this way: I'm not getting knocked out soon.
Durandal, do your shit.
This has got to be.
He's
There's got to be some
unlikely
waves
to
hitting me
knock
right
me
now.
out next turn.
There are many
He
waves.
gets two
Oh,
attacks.
Yeah.
yeah, there are
This has
many
gotta be
waves
a
hitting you
wave
right now.
save.
Roll me a strength save.
Yeah. This
Thank you
has
for the
gotta be-
reminder. In fact, they're actually bigger than they were previously as well now, so...
You want me to give me disadvantage?
no, that's just more damage.
No. Yeah. Strength save.
Mhm.
Right? But
You stand your ground, but still take 7 points of damage as the now rougher waves smash against you. Ixitadel falling out of the water all around you and flopping on the floor pathetically.
Ah.
What else are you doing? The shield's now in front of you. You can hear it approaching you.
well, obviously, Hunter's mark that guy. My bonus action.
You need to
shit.
see a target to Hunter's Mark it. In
Damn
order to avoid its gaze, you basically...
It does
Look
specify.
him in his thighs. Look him in his thighs.
Yeah, just look at him.
I'm looking at
his
him,
legs.
just not in his. In his
the actual wording of his gaze abilities is if you're avoiding their gaze, you're actively looking away from them. Like you can't look in their direction.
Well, you've ruined everything. You realise that. This is the one
know.
thing I wanted to do today. You are the worst.
You wanted to Hunter's Mark him, so when you inevitably didn't hit him, you could
You do
deal
extra
extra
damage.
damage.
Yes. Because his AC
In
is
all
good for like
fairness,
30.
I mean, let's put it this way:
He's not
the only
wearing
way
any
you're hitting
armor.
him is on a crit, Mike.
He's not wearing any armor. He isn't wearing armor, and he's quite big. There's a lot of him to hit. I might still hit him.
Might get a hit on him.
He probably has natural armor though, bear in
also
mind.
AC isn't that high
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah,
It's not, but I imagine it's still probably going to be.
it's the AC
It's
part
really
that you guys are kind of getting dragged over here. But it's anyway. So what you doing?
I cast protection from evil and good on
He's
myself.
probably got what,
Okay.
like 10 hit points? Maybe 20?
And
1,000.
He's just got one. You just need to land that one hit.
yeah, it's got a really high AC, but only one.
All
health.
It's simple. All you need to do is kill him.
Cobalt.
Oh,
God,
Oh,
yeah.
alright.
I swing at Flynt again.
'Kay.
Actually, no, wait. Flint didn't do anything to me this turn. I'll swing
He
at
didn't.
Darendil.
All right.
He's more of a threat. God damn.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whatever he is.
Goddamn
Oh,
Prince
sorry, I
Wolf.
rolled twice again. 16.
16 is a hit.
Smash the prince. Nobody likes him
Damage.
anyway.
All right. As you bring Mace around in a frenzy, you slam it straight into his chest. He just completely ignores you and then leaps on you again. Just want to think about it. Shushar is totally fine, obviously.
Obviously.
He then again breaks one smashes one claw pathetically against your stony hide, and then the other one breaks through, gripping something underneath the stone.
He's doing really well on his rolls, can I say?
He's got a good attack bonus. 5 points of damage.
He's a werewolf.
11.
He's quite off.
Flynt.
Shit. Well, I can't really hit him on account of. Well, I can't really hit him. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to continue with the attempting to trip him thing, because that seems to be that worked okay last time, and maybe it'll break. I'm trying to figure out a way of snapping him out of his confusion because I've got no idea what it is. So I'm gonna attempt to try and knock him down again.
Okay. Roll your athletics.
Is it
Cobalt.
me?
Yep. Both of you.
It was more just, did he mean me or Darendil?
13.
Sorry. I'm assuming he's meaning you.
Shit.
So, do you say 18, 30? All right. So yeah, again, Flynt brings his pick around. This time, again, going for the ankles and hooking it back. But even with both hands on the hilt, you're unable to pull Cobalt this time. He seems to have wisened up to your tricks, even if he hasn't seemingly wisened up to anything else. The creature rushes in Kamar's direction. A stray tentacle
What's up, dude?
coming around and attempting to backslap Kamar.
And 300 damage.
Okay. Yeah. Bring it.
So I'm just finding the attack roll. Okay. 12 plus 17, that's 29. So yeah, that's going to hit.
That'll probably hit.
4d12.
But I do have my shield out. Does it help?
I mean, it helps. Not much, but... So that's
But it's fine, because he's a heavy
18,
armor.
23,
Takes 3 less damage.
32 points of damage, 3 less, so 29 points of damage.
Actually, wait, no, hang on. Does heavy armor master specify it has to be mundane?
No. I
As
will reread it just to be sure.
29 damage though. How much health
Non-magical.
do you have?
29 points of damage
Yeah,
as
non-magical.
a tentacle, seemingly the creature surprisingly completely opposite to what you were thinking. The creature seems completely oblivious to you, as it instead rushes past you, slapping you out of the way with a single stray tentacle, which sends you flying into the nearest hut, smashing through one of the walls and falling unconscious inside.
As it goes to move past me, I imagine it sort of moved past me a little bit to the point where I realized it was ignoring me. It's like, face me, beast, and then halfway through just slaps me across the way. So yeah, that,
Can't
I had
possibly
28
stop
max
me.
health.
So that was 32 down to 29. So you're on 0.
Yeah, so I have 28 max health.
Yeah.
I was on
You're
20.
just unconscious.
So yeah.
So you don't die
I'm not,
outright.
I'm not insta dead, no.
He's not bleeding out.
The creature rushes to the altar, now about 20 feet away from the fray that is happening.
You better go down soon.
So about
You-
there.
Flynt,
Snap out of it, please.
roll a charisma saving throw, Flynt.
Okay,
No, actually,
then.
sorry, this would be wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay then. 12.
12.
One of us.
dear.
One of us.
You realize if that there is no way you're going to knock your friend out and get him away from here before that creature takes notice of you. And if as soon as it takes notice of you, you are dead. You are filled with fear at the moment, more so fear for your own life, more so than for your own friend. Roleplay that as you wish.
You go run.
This is basically just down to 3 people in this combat, so the first react is Cobalt.
I would swing at Darendil still.
Yep,
That's a crit.
that's a crit.
Oh my.
Going down swinging, god damn it.
Apparently. Okay, the mace hits on Darendil again as he then returns the attacks with fervour and fails to break through your stony hide. Flynt, what are you doing?
Got that mic. I guess
That's all he
I
can
would
do. He's
be
unconscious.
trying. I guess I run. If this is literally I don't care about Cobalt now, then I guess I've got no choice but to run.
It's not so much you don't care about Cobalt, it is that you're filled with complete fear and know that if you stay here, like you basically know that Cobalt is dead. You can't, in these seconds, you can't see a way to save him. You can see a way to save yourself, and that way is to flee.
Darendil, run. And then, like, 50 feet run.
Swing.
Okay.
Miss.
As a miss.
Also, for the record, I'm like over here now.
Yeah, basically. Okay. As the fight continues, Cobalt.
Fight.
Swing at Darendil. 23.
It's a hit.
Oh.
He's going down eventually.
6 damage.
Okay. He returns the attacks. That's 2 misses, one of which was a nat 1. So he almost basically opens himself to you with 2 vicious claws across his opening, leaving his arms wide open, giving you advantage on your next attack. At this point,
Yeah.
actually, at this point, no, Cobalt isn't paying attention to this, but the rest of the group running away, you can see that the creature is now stood next to the altar, swinging its tentacles around and just destroying every shack in the nearby vicinity. Its tail, its tentacles, just going everywhere, destroying every piece of structure. Or
I'm in one of those structures. Does it hit me?
you actually were thrown into a structure just out of the way because he actually batted you away before getting to the altar, so he's out of reach of the structure you're in right now.
Wow, so he's ignoring me even now. I really hate this guy.
As he tears through the nearby vicinity surrounding his altar. Cobalt, your turn. Advantage on the attack because Darendil just opened himself up.
13.
13 is a hit.
Alright, I'll take it. 4 damage.
Okay. He then swings at you.
Naturally.
One of them hits. You take 5 points damage.
I am on 6.
Your turn.
Swing at him again.
Come
is going well.
on.
Sorry, I rolled twice there again.
The first is a hit.
15.
That's a hit.
Can you not click them out?
It's because I click, then nothing happens. So I click again. This is what I was saying. Sometimes map tools takes a moment.
Either way, we
15
can take the
hits,
first in that case, yeah.
8 damage.
Okay. Darendil has hit Wounded Fury mode. As he swings at you again.
I'm surprised he still stood up, to be honest.
He is on
Surprised
4
he's
hit
hit.
points as he swings with his
Taking a
claws.
few hits is all I'm saying.
One of which hits, and you can feel the viciousness behind this attack, this kind of last resort cornered animal,
This will probably knock me out.
as he does 11 points of damage to you.
I am knocked out.
Okay, so a few things to finish off this encounter. As well, actually saying that, as those kind of looking over their shoulders, they're running, see Darendil take down Cobalt, look around viciously for the nearest target, and then rush towards the gigantic demonic thing, only to again have a backhand that seemingly was just aimed at a nearby structure just slam into him, and you see he just bursts. Like, the power of that creature just causes the Quaggoth to just burst into bits and pieces that fly everywhere, splattering the entire area around him. In fact, this is such a powerful hit that even Renlan, who has, and your group, who have ran maybe about 200-300 feet at this point, ahead of you, you see a skull clatter along a few shacks and then fall to the ground in front of you, broken in two. So, Kamar,
So we're making headway.
roll me some death saving throws. Cobalt, you do the same. Until you either die or you stabilize.
Well, this could
So
be
you need-
a very brief. It's gonna be a very pathetic end to this character right here. The dice decide to
Well,
fuck me on
Not
this.
really.
This is how death saving throws work.
It's basically you stood up against a prince of demons, so...
Yeah?
Stood up again.
It's a way to go down.
I mean, Mike, we're level 3.
That's one
Congrats.
success.
That's
Wait,
2 success. That's an automatic stabilize.
No, that's you wake up.
You're
Yep.
on 1 hit point.
You're on 1 hit point, you wake up. Roll me a charisma saving throw.
You've got nothing on me.
No, Mike.
Mike,
Man.
roll me a charisma saving throw.
Die.
Mike,
Yes,
roll me a charisma saving throw.
this is only gonna go well.
You had a chance then to stabilize and still be unconscious till he leaves, and now you're gonna burst.
Because if he
you
does
fight
29
him.
damage to me again, I die.
Yes, you
Kind
do.
And oh yeah, Cobalt, have you done yours as well?
It's
You
going
didn't ask me to.
tremendous.
I did.
Well.
Sorry, I did, but obviously it got missed.
Yeah.
Heads up.
So one fail, one pass, one fail, three fails.
Dead.
As Cobalt lays there, nobody around him to even see his final moments. The stone.
For what it's
Golem
worth,
creep.
actually, can I throw this one out there? Kamar's still alive. There is potential for him to stabilize me.
Yeah, but especially because I got up on my first round.
And we're under inside the shack.
Okay, I'll give you
For the
that.
record, I got a 26 on my
I'll-
charisma
I will-
save.
I will very much give you that then. In that case, you know for certain to go against that thing right now is death. Your order teaches that evil must die. However, your order is not filled with idiots. You know
Is not.
when to fight and when
It's
to
not about
run.
to walk into the middle of hell and go, oh.
That's yeah. You don't join this order and then teleport to hell because you know that's where the greater evils are. You stand and fight where
Well, this was a good plan.
you stand and fight the evils where you know it'll do the most good. And right now,
Yeah,
fighting
I
this
know
evil
it.
will do no good. However,
Okay, even within this character's boundless stupidity, having been swept aside as if it didn't even notice me there, somehow managed to stand and fight against it, still feel its pressure on me. I am going to take the point to retreat. However, at which point, I get out of the House of Shame.
and you do
Which
see
I've
in the
been going into.
distance, lying on the floor, his shield still glowing with the light spell, which is slowly fading
Yep.
as his willpower does too. You do see.
I
However, the creature
2 rounds.
is you have to go within his reach to get to Cobalt.
As I say, I got a 26 on my charisma save.
It's fine. So you don't get an insanity, but
Cool.
I'm going
That's
to
probably
require.
How
good
many
start.
rounds does it take to get him there? Because
Oh yeah, how exactly?
It's only going to take one round to get you
Yes,
there.
it was
Listen,
4 rounds.
if you let me finish, this requires a Wisdom save against fear. I don't know if you're immune to that yet. You might be as a paladin.
I got knocked unconscious. Not immune against fear.
You're not.
I got knocked unconscious, and my protection spell would have ended.
In
so
that
no, I'm
case,
not.
it's a
Is it
wisdom
concentration?
saving throw to see if you can bring yourself to get within
Oh,
reach of this
yes.
creature.
Protection from evil and good is concentration. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
Just double checking that. Yep, concentration.
yes, concentration.
one wisdom
and-
saving throw.
I will double check. I'm
And-
not immune to fear.
And for the sake of this huge dramatic moment, I'll put the offer out there. If anybody wants to donate an inspiration dice to Kamar, they can do for this one roll.
All out.
Sure. I have an inspiration on me.
Okay, but since this is another player giving it to you, this is decided before you roll. So you've got a d4 on this, no matter what.
Yep, sure.
So you got +4. Or was that the
So
other one you rolled?
it's
That's a previous one you rolled, I
wisdom
believe.
save.
Yeah, wisdom save.
So that's just a d20 for me. Oh no, sorry. Is it? No, it's not d20. It's d20 plus 2. I'm proficient in those. And then plus a d4 afterwards. So. Well,
Yeah,
shit.
d4.
9.
You see Cobalt lying there. You want to go and save him, but
Oh, sorry.
You
That was
can't bring yourself to pass within the reach of this creature. You felt what it did to you previously. Your bones ache. Your body is just refuses to move as you attempt to bring yourself forwards. And after standing there attempting to force yourself forwards for several seconds, you realise your friend is dead.
Well-
There is no saving him.
I mean, that's of course up to you. I'd say I'd probably get one more go at it because of.
Bearing in mind, I'm being nice as to where he sent you flying. Like, I'm doing this very much for the narrative rather than the mechanics. Like, he
Out of
was...
curiosity, Mike, what spells did you prepare?
Protection from evil and good, compelled duel, and cure wounds. I am out of spells.
Cure wounds is touch,
Oh, you're out of
unfortunately.
spells.
Yep, but I do have lay on hands, which is what I was going to use.
Unfortunately,
Bear in
like,
mind-
you had to...
Also, something I will say, Beanie, is frightened just prevents you getting closer to the subject?
I'm doing this for the
Does make you run away.
This isn't the frightened effect. This is a.
Okay.
Can he bring his willpower up to get him within close of that creature? Like he has to, in order to get to you before you die, he has to rush through the creature's range. Like this is a last minute dash. It would have been. Unfortunately, it did come down to a die roll, and it did fail.
There is one more chance I could potentially get there. Is the thing stopping me doing this a disease?
No, it is not.
Well, that didn't pay off then, did it?
At this point, you realise that the better thing you can do, the only thing you can do to survive, is to turn and run.
I mean, I guess.
And as you do so, you rush, fortunately, away from the creature. Is in the same direction as the rest of the group were going. And in the distance, you can hear what seems to be the sounds of loud footsteps rushing across a pier, as Renlan and the first group now move into a nearby boat and start setting things up to sail. Unfortunately, with very limited knowledge of how to sail a boat between you, especially on these rough waves, it's looking very dangerous. Where did Flynt run?
I probably would have tried getting away from it, but in a way that wasn't too far away to basically so I could still see Cobalt. So it's a place I could hide behind.
There are shacks and stuff, but just looking at him, it looks like he's basically just going on a rampage, destroying shacks. You don't feel like you'd be safe behind.
No, it was more getting far enough away that at that time he wasn't within sort of range to be able to hit me, so I could keep an eye see what happened to Cobalt, and then if he had, then
roll a stealth check then.
6.
With your attempting to hide from him, unfortunately, with your limited ability to, limited practice in this kind of art, you end up kind of overreaching and instead fling yourself behind a shack fully, so much so that you can't actually get sight on Cobalt. But you feel like if you were to pop your head out, you'd surely be seen by the creature.
But basically, I don't want to approach that thing, but I don't want to leave until I can make sure I can get Cobalt out of there, and I've not seen him die.
That's very true.
So
in
the case of it,
as you stand there, again unsure, like unwanting to kind of pop your head out for fear that a giant tentacle will just slap you and destroy you in the same way that you saw it destroy Darendil. You eventually bring your courage up, and about 20 seconds later, pop your head around the corner and see the creature has moved slightly away from where Cobalt's last stand was. And you can see Cobalt's body lying there, cracked and broken. Can't quite make out if he is alive or dead from this distance.
How far away is Deemoogoogoon from the body?
He's out of reach of it from this distance, especially considering that you're kind of making use of the limited lights rather than your dark vision just due to the range. You can't make out whether he is 10 or 50 feet away.
Am I able to approach Cobalt?
You start moving towards Cobalt. I will say make a wisdom saving throw. Like with advantage because the creature's backs to you.
19.
You are able to move towards Cobalt if you wish to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. A sec. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna wander over to him.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell, can he be, I guess, repaired?
Make a. Do you have now? I know we talked about this before. Your character is a smith of sorts. What proficiencies do you have in that regard?
Smith's tools.
I'll say make a proficient intelligence check in that case.
21.
Okay. You believe that Cobalt is definitely dead. Any life force that was in him is seemingly spent. However, the actual body itself, the actual stonework that is the physical form of Cobalt, could probably be fixed. You're not sure so much on how you can restore what would probably be his equivalent of a soul, so to speak, but if you could get it away from here, get the proper tools, get the proper workplace, maybe.
One step at a time. I'm going to grab him under both arms and start trying to drag him away.
Okay. You grab him under both arms, start dragging him away. At first, you do this, and within the first 5 feet, you hear the as you're dragging stone across stone, and you kind of stop in the fear that the thing can hear you, and then look up to realise it doesn't care. It is just on a rampage. It doesn't care who it goes after. It doesn't care about any noise in the area. It is just destroying, and even as you watch it, again, a tentacle hits a shack, seemingly one that was populated as blood and gore splatters out of it. And you now rush as fast as you can, dragging this heavy stone man as you do so. At this point, Kamar, you have pardon me, you've seen the several of your companions are starting to set up on a boat in the distance on a pair. They look about ready to set off. Is Renlan, are you basically setting off as soon as you're ready, or are you waiting?
That entirely depends on how close the creature gets. If it looks like it's heading in our direction, I'll try and push people to sail away now. If it's because it's on a rampage, it's kind of going over the place, I'd imagine.
At the moment,
if it doesn't look
it's
like
going away
coming
from
our
you.
way, then away from me. Then we'll wait for more people to actually get onto the boat.
Well, as far as you can tell, actually no. As far as you can tell now, looking around, you can actually see Kamar limping towards you, like struggling actively.
Battered and bloodied and bruised.
Very much so.
As loudly as I can, I cough out the words, "Hold! Wait!" Like stagger towards, blood dripping everywhere.
In that case, I'm assuming Renlan's holding off from.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if the monster's going away from us, I just want everyone to get on the boat.
In that case,
As
Kamar,
I get up to the boat. Yep.
You reach the boat. Sorry.
As I get up to the boat, I take one quick look around, half collapse a bit, and then say, notice that Flynt isn't there, and said, "Where's the other one? The other dwarf?"
Eldef at this point, like seeing you fall, Eldef actually moves up and helps you onto the boat. However, you don't need a perception check upon noticing this. Like you look around, Flynt is very much not there. Eldef says, "Last I saw him, he was the stone man had gone crazy. Cobalt, I don't know what happened to him. He just started attacking. He almost killed poor little stool over there."
"The creation is gone, but I will not let the master die in vain." And then starts staggering off once again.
At which point, Eldif, kind of, who was attempting to help you onto the boat, is kind of a little pulled along with you there, and kind of lets go, looks around at like what's happening here, like looking at Renlan almost for to see what he's going to do.
Say,
heading back
Kamar,
in the direction
get
I
on the
just came
boat
from.
now.
See, I've got 1 health. I'm going with it's not
You've got
particularly
lay on
difficult
hands.
to. I do have lay on hands, but it's not at the moment in my current state. It's not particularly difficult to stop me. So it's entirely down to how forcefully people are trying to stop me.
Right now, nobody is actively forcefully trying to stop you.
Are you still walking away?
Yes.
I'll just say, get back on the boat now. Your chance to fight has failed. Roll wisdom DC 13.
You vicious monster.
Yeah.
Well done.
Wow.
There is no healing on this
Well,
boat.
I'll stabilize him. It's fine.
You'll try
fine,
and
fine.
stabilize him.
No, I've
That one,
I've
that
got
one,
spare
that
the
one,
dying.
that one,
I'll
that
just be
one.
like, boop, done.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, what am I rolling?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
DC 13.
You can do
Is
those.
that right? Yeah.
That's the thing.
Like,
He might
kinda.
just succeed, and I'll be like,
Does it do half damage on the fail?
No, it does no damage because it's a
no,
cantrip.
it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I succeed. Why
So
didn't I get that when I was trying to say? Oh, for fuck's sake.
even as you hear this, you just carry on walking, ignoring it completely.
La la la, not listening. Bye.
The rest of the group, even Eldif, actually no. Everybody except for Eldif kind of looks around and seems very unsure of what to do. Eldif actually steps off, and you feel her basically going onto your shoulder and attempting to support you. Like, she's fairly low down as a dwarf, but she is still quite strong, so she is quite comforting for a wounded man like you. And she she turns back ahead and says, "If you need to go, go. We'll wait for Flynt here. Like, if he's alive, he deserves friends and a chance to escape."
Be you cowards or be you warriors? Just start staggering away.
Are you human or are you dancer?
Jim Jar just kind of leans on the edge of the boat and says, "And I would not wager a bet on those two. We leaving now,
Did that
Captain?
once and I survived. Suck it.
We leaving now, Captain?" he says to Renlan.
Sorry, did you say the dwarf lady got off the boat yet?
Eldif, the
Is
dwarf
she
lady, has
going-
gone with
Is
Kamar.
she going with Kamar?
Yeah, she's actually helping support him. Like, he's on one health, so
He's
she's
my crutch right
yeah,
now.
very much so.
I'll just look and say, we need them. I guess we'll wait. But if that creature comes back this way, we will leave.
So, about 5 minutes later, the creature's still rampaging. Fortunately, on the far side of the town. Kamar, you hear in the distance, probably followed by the occasional dwarven curse.
Oh, as in. Okay, right. I thought you meant like,
You found
geez, got to deal with fucking drow now. Not drow. Drow? No.
Dwagar, you're
Dark
thinking.
Iron? Wolves?
Dwagar.
That's the one. The
Sure,
beard.
sure.
Sorry, yeah, I got it. I got what you meant. That was real life Dom, not Kamar Dom.
Are
Okay,
those the same thing?
sometimes.
Like Dumb and Kamar Dumb.
Often, in fact. But yes, not in this occasion. Anyway, having heard that, I point as best I can, say Eldith to Eldith. Is that her name?
Eldif, yeah.
Dwarf help. Yeah, whatever her name is. Say I hear them that way.
She still help you along. Attempts to you both kind of quicken your speed and quickly notice in the distance Flynt dragging this stone body along with him along the main street.
Okay, are we like away from
Excuse me.
the
Deemoogoogoon.
Yeah, like
the-
Flynt actively
Right.
went away from him, and he's chosen a direction. He's gone. Basically, if you think he's gone east, you guys went west. So he is on a rampage on the fortunately other side of the town.
in that case, when we get close enough, seeing this scene, not wanting to seem completely insensitive, I tell Elder to slow down, and very slowly, like on my own, walk up to Flynt and say, "We must go.
I'm not leaving him.
He's already left you. Please, he fought like a hero. His name will be spoken forever."
Fought like a hero, killing his friends.
Yeah.
I tried to save him and was unable to do so against such a monster. To stand as long as he did, he is a legend.
Any chance I've got to bring him back, I'll take. And I'm going to continue dragging him along.
I say I understand and pathetically try to pick him up as well.
Eldif Eldif tells
For a
you.
minute, I thought you were going to say that you're going to try to pick up Flynt.
Yeah, no, we're going.
Eldif says to you, focus on carrying yourself, manling, and instead, rather than acting as crutch for you, she instead grabs the other arm of Cobalt, like letting Flynt grab the left arm and her grab the right arm, and they between them are able to pull him at a decent speed.
Did you just call him Manling?
Yes,
Yes.
manling.
That's fair. At which point,
He wears full armor.
I laugh and then cough up blood, then laugh some more, cough up more blood, and then decide laughing's a bad idea. Carry on.
Okay, Renlan, you see a shape rushing up the pier. At first, it's just a shadow, but then as it comes into the light, as it comes into your dark vision, you notice that it is a dwarf. In fact, it is the dwarf that you saw at the altar. His hands bound, his skin grey, and his beard ashen. As he rushes up and says, "No, if you've got a boat, you've got to let me come with you. I can't face that beast here." And he attempts to rush onto the boat. Are you doing anything?
I'll just say, stop right there. Hold on a moment.
Roll
I've got a
a
date for more stuff.
persuasion check.
Hey, that's my line.
Oh my god, not persuasion. Oh, there we go.
He-
That earlier, but all right.
Finally, you're persuasive.
He stops, kind of looks around to see the group on there and says, "Look, I just need a boat out of here. You can drop me off wherever you fucking want, but just let me on. That creature will kill us all."
Drop him off in the water over the side of the boat.
Okay, how much do I
We
know
did say
about
anywhere we
Dwagar?
wanted.
What do you know about
He's a
Dwagar?
But how much do I know about him?
Did
About them,
you
should I say.
About him.
roll a history check?
That's it.
He loves long walks along the beach.
20.
You know that the Dwagar are the dark brothers of the dwarf kind. Whilst the dwarfs you are more familiar with live nearer the surface, although still in mines and underground, they still make trade with the surface races. They still live under the sun, effectively. The Dwagar live deep away from that. They are very much a culture of order. They worship a deity who is focused on the forging of metalcraft, and you know that this forging is not art, is not it is not for fun. It is just for function. Like, they are an order very much of they're a race very much of function over everything else. Like, you know that they are very militarized. They everything they do is very much, it has reason. Like,
So they're not necessarily good or evil, they're sort of more neutral.
oh no, you know that they are very much a evil race. Like, they believe in domination over the world in order to make it an ordered place.
And then I'll just say to him,
So
like,
they're like
Dwagar are evil. You're not coming
not
on
so
this
evil,
boat.
evil.
Find your own way.
Dwagar are evil. So are fucking. So's the fucking drow you've got over there, and none of you look like you've got a sailing bone between you. Looking at the fucking job you've done on the boat so far, and you can see he's kind of gesturing around.
We should not let him on.
Are
just
you a
because he's got
sailor?
potty mouth.
Yes. How do you think I got to this fucking place of fish people?
How do you
Well,
think we got?
I'll tell you what. If you can come on this boat and help it sail properly to where we need to go, I'll let you on.
Unbind my
Then you
fucking
have
hands, and
some
it's a
sort of
deal.
use at least. I'll pull out my dagger and say, "Come here." I'll just sort of uncut his,
shiver him.
He,
Shit
seeing
in the
seeing you
face.
pull a dagger, he kind of hesitates at first, and then steps forward, holding his arms out, and you're able to slip it under the rope and cut it free. He then
And I'll say,
moves.
right, now prepare this boat for sailing.
Before you even say anything, he just moves past you and starts setting things up. You can see various things. Like, there's no sails on this boat. It's not like there's no winds in this area, at least. So there's no sails, but he sets various things right, and you can see his boxes and stuff that are on the boat. He starts stacking in various places, and things that you hadn't noticed before. That, for example, the boat was swaying slightly to one side. He moves things so the weight's more evenly distributed, so it's fine. He then starts ordering people. You want those oars over there. You want those oars over there. Like, actively distributing people. You can tell he's kind of ordering people from how burly they look, so as to keep things even on either side. And then he says, "And now, start rowing. We need to get out of here now."
No, we're not rowing. We're waiting for more people.
What the fuck you talking about? The creature's gonna be here any fucking minute. You haven't seen what it can do to a bloody house, never mind a boat.
I like how he said a thing and then realized he forgot to swear during that sentence, so he said the sentence again with the swearing. At least he's thorough. That's all I'm saying.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Hey, he's been through a lot of shit, this guy.
I'll just then say to the people who he's always like, none of us are rowing till our friends are on the boat.
Roll an intimidate check.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Wait, how are you? Are you a warlock and you can't do intimidate? standard
It's more the
fare, I
fact
would've
that like I've got charisma, but I don't have proficiency in this sort of stuff.
He's not a social character.
10.
They kind of look around, and then Sareth the Drow says, "He is right. We should get moving now. That creature could any moment. Our companions are likely dead or worse." I don't know why he gets an Irish accent. I don't know.
Yeah, dwarves do have Irish accent.
This is the Drow, though.
Oh yeah.
I can't help it. There's a lot of accents and voices in this NPCs.
If I had some spell slots, I could cast command right now.
So
I'll just glare at him. It's like I get the feeling that I'm the one person who wants to stay and everyone wants to move, and I can't really stop that right now.
At this point,
so I just sort of glare at him, but I don't say anything.
At this point, the Dwagar, who has sat himself on the tiller, just shouts, "Just start rowing!" At which point, Sareth, Bupido, Turvy, Sareth, Bupido, and Turvy all start to row. Topsy and Jimjar, who, although was ordered to sit by an oar, is still just kind of leant on the side of the bow, just kind of watching things happening with the occasional kind of thing. And Topsy, who has got an oar, but kind of looks around and actually, as soon as she sees the things people start rowing, she actually reaches around and stops her brother, which causes the left side to start rowing a little more inwards. And you hear the Dwagar say, "Stop! Right rowers, start rowing!" as things start happening.
How far off are the rest of us from dragging and or carrying the corpse back to the boat?
You don't know?
Okay.
Well,
at this
you
point,
guys
so
know,
it's not
but Renlan
exactly
doesn't,
right.
and we're on Renlan's story right now, so
Oh, okay.
at
not
this
really
point,
relevant
I
to the
then
situation.
Find somewhere to sit down and sort of kind of go, and essentially start a short rest. He doesn't like being the one who's not in, like, he's just like, "Oh, shut up, Renlan, we're leaving." He's just like, if I had spells right now.
At which point, the Dwagar moves over, kind of gets a hand behind Topsy and pushes her out of the way so he can now take her place on the row and starts rowing. As Flynt, Eldith, and Kamar now come into sight of where the boat was, you can see the trail in the water in the distance disappearing into the darkness is the boat.
I shout. I take a moment. I drop the piece of corpse I am carrying. I shout as loud as I can, "Ingrates!" and cough up more blood.
Renlan, roll me a perception check.
Okay, you better hope that I get a good roll on this. Oh, alright.
In the distance, you hear the shout, slightly, you hear the echo of, "Ingrates!"
Ingrates, cowards! Oh god, why am I doing this?
Oh god, that was long.
I'll just say to everyone, it's like, see, they were right behind us. I told you we shouldn't have left.
Well-
that was my entire liver.
Well, we're left now and we're fucking safe, aren't we? And none of the ones rowing seem to be taking any indication to stop. Like, Topsy and Turvy have both stood up now and are kind of looking to you for direction. But Sareth and Bupido are both rowing away, as is the Dwagar on the other side of the boat.
Is that a mutiny I hear in the distance?
Like, considering only the two tiny ones have turned round as if they're kind of on the same page as me, like, I can't make this boat turn around. I also don't know how to make the boat turn around. Anyone who knows how to boat is Dwagar, and he's rowing right now.
I had to shank him. He's probably weak.
So, Flynt, Kamar, and Eldith. You are left standing at the end of an empty pier. You can see to your left, you are actually very close to the wall of the town. Like, you could probably find a way to leave this town on foot if you wanted to. it'd obviously be a very hard journey if you're dragging along a stone body, and especially with Kamar as injured as he is. But unless you want to go deeper into town, which would, you could go to the next pair over, but that would be heading in the general direction of the monster, who is a good distance away at this point. That is to be said. What are you doing?
I looked to Eldith for guidance.
She just shakes her head and says, I don't know. What should we do?
We have to get to safety. We need to rest, recuperate, rethink our plans. When deep in enemy territory, you don't leave yourself. Yes. When deep in enemy territory, you don't leave yourself exposed.
Need to go to safety.
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 I'm gonna go safety, man.
It's probably safer to head into the tunnels on foot then. This
Whatever
way.
it is, we can't stay here.
And she grabs Cobalt again under her arm and starts moving towards the wall.
That's a good plan. I'll do that.
Okay.
Don't you know? You never split the.
And as you all find your way to the gate and disappear out of the town of Slooperdop, the horrific noise of shack after shack being destroyed, the cries and shrieks of Deemoogoogoon from countless Kyoto voices, along with their screams and cries of pain. That is where we'll leave it for this session.
Kamar learns a valuable lesson about fighting giant things, that he is invincible and cannot be killed by them.
And
Yes.
with that, I hope people have enjoyed the stream, but I'm going to cut it off at my end here because I have some things to talk about with the players in private. So, bye-bye.
Talk about the players in private.
Okay.
All right. Well,